Gog and Magog is only supposed to take 12 minutes. And for 250 years, no one understood what type of war would be over in 12 minutes. Now, unfortunately, we know exactly what type of war can be over in 12 minutes. That would be a nuclear war. But there are descriptions in Zechariah. It talks about people's flesh melting on their bones.
Wow.
Which is really a description of nuclear holocaust.
I guess Gog will be the leader of all this group, the nations that come against Israel. And I'm bringing you to the land of Israel. Over there will be your destruction. I'm going to send fire to Magog. 7 years the fire will not stop. 7 years. Everywhere will be burning for 7 years. It's a 2/3 of the world will die. If you have 7 billion today, you are talking 4.5 billion people will die. 4.5 billion. How does it happen? Only with atomic war. There's no other way to kill so many people. But the Vilna Gaon already said 250 years ago that the last war really will be 9 minutes. Of course, it's going to be 7 years, everything will be burning.
No. And the Gaon of Vilna explained that the war of Gog and Magog, the final stage, will be only 12 minutes. The Western nation, the Christian nations, and the Islamic world will have a feud among themselves.
The script has already been written. Gog and Magog, which is the last final war, where there will be Avnei el-Gavish, as the prophet says, raining down on the enemy. Avnei el-Gavish are meteorites. The war of Gog and Magog is the last war. It's the final war. It's after the battles and the problems with the Persian king. And that is a war against the Jews alone. That is a war where the nations will gang up on us. How do they gang up on us? They will gang up to take away Yerushalayim from us. So what that means is that not everyone will survive. And as I said earlier, of the entire world's population, 2/3 will disappear. And when we say that, we mean everyone, even amongst us.
First off, before Mashiach comes, there's going to be a war called Gog and Magog. The war of all wars. This war is going to the prophet Zechariah chapter 14. If anyone wants to get really, really scared, go to the prophet Zechariah chapter 14. It describes a nuclear war that destroys the world. It tells you how people are going to melt, the eyes are going to spill like liquid. So the point is that Zechariah says that this war initially is going to destroy 2/3 of the population. So you have 8 billion people in the world. Right off the bat, 6 billion are gone.
We're told that nations will go to war against Jerusalem. These nations will fail. They will be destroyed. They're described in detail in these two books, Ezekiel 38 and 39, and Zechariah, just the last chapter. The war is going to be two parts, two nations, or two corporations of nations that will go to war against Jerusalem, and they will be utterly destroyed.
Deploy the Goy beam.
Well, the interesting thing about it is that there will be a war, which is predicted in Ezekiel 38, 39, that it's called the War of
God wins.
Gog and Magog, I think.
Only Jesus could save us.
War. It's a war against the Mashiach and the Jews, because the nations of the world realize that the truth has arrived and that their time is over. And this will be the last attempt to recapture Israel and try to restore their former glory. Then at that war, the Mashiach ben David arrives. That's when he comes in. He enters the stage and he wipes them all out.
Just one match can ignite a world war, and it can start from Europe. They are Christians against the Muslims. Millions of Muslims want to conquer France and Germany.
One match.
It's all happening. The nations will kill each other and we will remain. You come say, it is possible for every bomb to be targeted to hit a non-Jew and not a Jew.
There's a war of Gog and Magog. First one, as the Chafetz Chaim said, was 100 years ago, World War I. Second one was World War II, and we're on the cusp.
Shout out John Garadas.
All of these wars, the Gog and Magog wars,
see through it all.
Everything into its correct order. To bring
for
the
these
Jewish
epic
people,
mixes, nobody does it like us.
Where we are potentially supposed to be the spiritual leaders of the world, as well as the physical leaders of the world.
Share the link.
We need the remaining nations of Esav and Ishmael to fight it out over Israel.
Post it
The remainder
everywhere.
of those two to then join forces and bring everyone that's left to Israel to try and destroy Mashiach and the chosen people. This is Gog and Magog. All these things they're going to develop into World War III. Remember the Vilna Gaon almost 300 years ago. He said that the final war would take place, it would take between 7 and 12 minutes. But this is sure hinted in Zechariah 14:12. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the nations who besieged Jerusalem. His flesh will waste away while he still stands on his feet. His eyes will waste away in their sockets, and his tongue shall waste away in his mouth.
And I'll just share with you some of the elements of what they describe as what will be going on in the world right prior to the Messianic age. We're told that there'll be epidemics and horrible diseases. We're told that there'll be international wars and conflicts, that there'll be famines, that there will be poverty and runaway inflation.
What are the two nations that will last until Mashiach comes? Rome and Persia. Now, if you would like to think that today's Iran is Persia, then maybe you say, okay, I got the whole story. Rome is today America. Rome is, the heirs of the ancient European world, the Roman dynasty. That's the United States of America. And Iran, that's Persia. So, at the end of days, it's going to be World War III between Iran and the United States of America.
We got one more super mix, and then we're going to go live, cover all the Iran news.
Question number one, what is Gog and who is Gog? So we said that Gog is a leader of a nation called Magog. We don't know who it is, but that's who it is. It's a leader of a nation. Question number two, is the nation of Israel involved in this war? Well, they're going to come after us, but we're not going to even lift one bullet is not going to be shot.
Everybody give it a like. I want to see 200 likes on Rumble.
There's not going to be one shot, one missile, nothing. The Israeli army is not involved here. Not the Israeli army, not the Israeli government, and not the Israeli people, and not the Jews who live in the land.
I don't know if it does
It
anything.
seems clear to me from the books of the prophets that Donald Trump is in the midst of fulfilling a series of divine missions which have not yet been completed. And it is therefore with certainty that he will be given more time to complete his positive role in the cosmic history of the Jewish people and of all mankind. That is why the numeric value of his name, Donald Trump, is identical to that of Mashiach ben David, Messiah the son of David, 424. No, he is not the Messiah, but he is on Messiah's team. He is working for God and preparing the world for the redemption.
Thank you, Jesus!
God did not save Donald Trump's life to make America great. God saved Donald Trump's life to usher the coming of the Messiah. Brothers and sisters, Donald Trump is in office right now because God is going to use this man in a way that you cannot imagine in order to usher Gog and Magog that will ultimately usher the coming of the Messiah.
So one of the things that has to happen is America has to fall. I mean, because the American-led world, the world order, that's the American-led order, is going to end. That's not the same as the very end that we read in the Bible. So somehow we're going to see a collapse. And the thing is, listen, we are already deteriorating economically. Our position in the world, our enemies are rising. China is rising. Others are rising. So we're already in the neighborhood.
Help me, Jesus! Help me, Jewish God!
Adam believes the rabbis.
Help me, Jewish God! We know the Mashiach basically is going to control the world.
Let's go, 10 baby mamas.
How is he going to do that? How all the big people in the world will basically put their ego aside and will say, okay, you are our Messiah, you are the Mashiach. Not just the Jews going to say it, all the world's going to say it. So how is it going to happen? He will be using Hatach, Donald Trump, to basically hit the nations. And that's what he's doing now. Whoever is against us, he's the only one that actually says, listen, guys, I don't care. They're going to be punished.
This prophecy is how they enslave us.
We have to get the people of our country, of this country, to love Israel more. I have to tell you that. We have to do it. We have to get them to love Israel more. This was a special token of affection given by myself and the First Lady to Prime Minister and the First Lady of Israel. And it's a key. We call it a key to the White House, and it's a key to our country and to our hearts. Well, you know how I feel about the Gaza Strip. I think it's an incredible piece of important real estate, and I think it's something that we would be involved in, but having a peace force like the United States there, controlling and owning the Gaza Strip would be a good thing. And if you take the people, the Palestinians, and move them around to different countries, and you have plenty of countries that will do that. They asked him, what do you think about Iran? Would you hit Iran? And he goes, as long as they don't hit the nuclear stuff. That's the thing you want to hit, right? I said, I think he's got that one wrong. Isn't that the one you're supposed to hit? You know, there are prophets that say the world will come to an end in the Middle East. You know that, right?
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. Thank you all for joining me this historic Sunday, March 1st, 2026. Trump has attacked Iran again. War has been unleashed. The Bible fanatics are anticipating their end times, messianic prophecies unfolding, and all hell is breaking loose. Super fire edits in there that are just being ripped and reposted everywhere on the internet. Shout out See Through It All. Shout out John Garadas for those amazing edits. I need to make a new edit. I got some new man on the streets coming though. But wow. We're going to cover it all. You can see we got tons of tabs. Tons of tabs today. Going to be an absolutely huge show. Powerchat.live/no-more-news is turned on for you guys to support the show. We're going to cover it all the analysis, all the latest developments. Huge shout out to 10 baby mamas for the big dono that came in there through the intro. Really appreciate you. I'm surprised you're able to afford such a big donation with so many baby mamas to take care of. That is surprising. I don't know why they're not playing, but we're refreshing that again too. Thank you, 10 baby mamas. Tabs on top of tabs. Tab maxing. You know we'd be tab maxing. You know we're tab maxing. Speaking of fire edits, look at this. Here's one Gog and Magog mix. This new fake blonde bot account that blew up very recently to 100,000 followers reposted. How come when they repost our videos, nobody anons repost our videos and our edits, they always get way more views than when we post them? Like there's a little suppression going on from the Abrahamic Matrix gatekeepers and the algorithms. 5,000 likes on this edit.
Right now.
Which one is it?
The fear with the war.
At least it says See Through It All on X.
Releases rapidly.
Go and make a war that will take.
Oh, by the way, I predicted the dates. I called the 28th. As far as I know, I'm the only one on video, maybe besides Big Tech.
10 Babel Mamas sent one.
There's 10 baby mamas.
Adam Green was right about everything. # Green Pill.
Been right about a lot. Pretty good track record. A lot of vindication. Shout out Zio Jesus. Yes. Christ is King has become the battle cry for the Zionist wars.
Optics Prime sent $5 on Rumble. Jewish media feed is calling for the imprisonment of Nick Fuentes, Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson in a World War II internment camp.
Yeah, I told you the crackdown on the anti-Semitism is going to come, especially the low IQ peasant mob Christian anti-Semitism.
# Green Pill.
Okay, now we're coming in multiple times. Let's see here. We don't want to do another one of those. Okay. Thank you, 10 baby mamas. We should play it 10 more times. All right, let's see this one that they reposted.
Sure.
Been craving your take all weekend.
$5 been craving your take all weekend, Adam. Go she. All right? Let's have and go.
Goy Shiak. I like the way you spelled that. Thank you, Zornder Edom. Let's see what video they posted here. They got the 5,000. See, John makes it and posts it, and then we all retweet it, and it gets 100 likes. It does better than that sometimes. Some no-name, nobody posted that just popped up out of nowhere. They also share a bunch of slop, too. Total disinfo and slop stuff.
The Middle East is rapidly changing. You know, there are prophets that say the world will come to an end in the Middle East. You know that, right?
We all know about...
And they're assassinating the leader of Persia on their remembering the destruction of Amalek holidays. And you don't think these people are serious? And you don't think they're serious about destroying Edom according to their prophecies? You don't think their prophecies in Judaism and the rabbis play into what the state of Israel is doing? Taking out the leader of Iran on the Purim, remember the destruction of Amalek holiday? You got to be kidding me. Wait till you see my prediction I made 4 days before, too, on video. I posted
the
it.
arrival of the Mashiach. One day the Messiah would come. We know about Gog and Magog, a major war that will take place in the world, which Zechariah 14 describes. Zechariah, the prophet, which described 2/3 of the people in the world will be wiped out in moments. We know a lot of things from the prophets and from the Kabbalah and from the Gemara. It will be a massive war in the world. We call it Gog and Magog. Gog and Magog, according to the prophets.
Okay. What
says,
else is in here?
Who will pay this way to?
Okay, just a long one of Ms. Rachi. You want? Hold on. Let me switch this. I want to get all these saved. I bookmark all of my tabs, so they're always saved. I can go back if I ever need to and find stuff. Okay. We don't need to watch that. No way I can delete them. All right, let's start. Fire edit, John. Great job with the clips. See through it all. Legendary. So, Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, has been killed in Israeli and U.S. airstrikes. Iranian state media confirmed. Mossad was saying they killed him too, and then all of the usual suspects online were like, that's a lie, that's not true. He's still alive, but then no, it's been confirmed. Reuters, Fox News, everywhere. Images show the compound of Iran's supreme leader after... Dude, it's just total Muslim L again, by the way. How much superiority does the West and Israel have? Like, we could have just taken this guy's palace out at any time we wanted. There's the before and after. Dude, it's just like, how many L's? They keep saying like, oh, you wait, the revenge is coming. You know, we're going to destroy you. We're going to wipe you off the map. Death to America. And they just get mogged. Gog and Magogged on all these Muslims, pretty much, right? They got Zog. Zog got Gog and Magog maxed. Mogged. Gog and Magogged. Mogged. Gog and Mogged. Okay. And then there's this photo. I'm not sure if it's confirmed, but they're claiming, the internet is claiming this is a picture of him found in the rubble. They could have just done this shit at any time. So they're blowing up the pagers. They're blowing up the leader of Hamas in the capital of Tehran. And now Israel, by the way, or I'm sorry, Iran is bombing like Dubai, Bahrain. Israel's bombing Lebanon. Hezbollah's bombing Israel. All hell is broken loose. And it's only the beginning, too. Stock market's going to open up tomorrow and be a total wreck. Gas prices, food prices. It's yeah, we're getting zogmogged is what's really happening. So the White House announced Khamenei is dead. One of the most evil people in history is dead. Like Haman. He's the modern-day Haman, killed on the Haman holiday. This is not only justice for the people of Iran, but for all great Americans and those people from many countries throughout the world that have been killed or mutilated by Khamenei and his gang of bloodthirsty thugs. He was unable to avoid our intelligence and highly sophisticated tracking systems. Well, that's true. They had no defense, no missile defense. They just it's like blackout, internet down. I heard they're claiming they took out like 40 of their top leaders. They already replaced the supreme leader with another guy, and he already got taken out too. It's not even a contest. unless this is just the opening salvo and it's used, and us attacking them and being portrayed as the evil satanic one that started all of this is always used against us and creates the narrative with the larger war with Iran and Russia. Working closely with Israel, there was not anything or the other leaders that have been killed along with him could do. This is the single greatest chance for the Iranian people to take back their country. We are hearing that many of the IRGC military and security and police no longer want to fight, and they are looking for immunity from us. As I said last night, Trump's saying again in the latest thing, he thinks this is going to be another Venezuela. Take out the leader, take the oil, put in a puppet, bing, bang, boom. Total Trump victory. And peace in the Middle East. Now they can have immunity later. They only get death. Hopefully the IRGC and police will peacefully merge with the Iranian patriots and work together as a unit to bring back the country to the greatness it deserves. That process should soon be starting, and that not only the death of Khomeini, but the country has been in only one day very much destroyed and even obliterated. The heavy and pinpoint bombing, however, will continue uninterrupted throughout the week, or as long as is necessary to achieve our objective of peace throughout the Middle East. We're going to bomb you until there's peace. Indeed, the world. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Pretty good, Trump. Breakdown. Fox News says 40 top Iranian leaders killed in the attack. And Trump says we're going to lose some soldiers. That's the way the world works. We're going to play those clips in a second. Trump's statement the other night. Of course, he does it late on a Friday night, too.
Fox News has learned from a senior Israeli security official. Israel assesses that more than 40 senior Iranian security and regime figures were killed in strikes during the opening operation that Israel launched. Operation Epic Fury against the Iranian regime. This official goes on to say this is one of the largest regime decapitation operations conducted in modern warfare history, and that Israeli intelligence managed to infiltrate the Iranian security echelon, making the strikes possible, this official explained. But again, this news just coming into us, we were able to confirm it, that a senior Israeli official telling Fox News more than 40 senior Iranian security and regime figures were killed in the opening strike this morning. And John...
Maxed Out Bear sent 10.
Thank you, Maxed Out Bear.
Magog Mog by Zog is a real tongue twister.
It is. I was having trouble with that, trying to figure out the right one. Got to tweet that quick. Gog and Magog. Trump just got like a cool meme of Trump where he's like, you just got Gog and Mogged.
And Sandra, as you can hear,
Gog and Magog Mogged.
Stay here. Our security is giving me the nod to stay here.
Mm-hmm.
Tel Aviv is under a significant attack right now. And again, this news breaking that Iran's supreme leader, the Ayatollah Khamenei, has been killed. We are now reporting exclusively that 40 senior regime figures were also killed in the strikes.
All right, we heard that. Yeah, they're claiming that hypersonic missiles are getting through. This kind of looks like a video we saw the last time when they bombed last year. But look at this hypersonic. Holy shit! So much faster than all the rest. Is this another angle? Israel's going to take some hits. They're hitting U.S. bases around the Middle East as well.
$5 on Rumble. Remember when Dawson's buddy Scott Ritter was saying that Iran would totally destroy Israel if they tried to bomb their strategic sites? Russia shells.
Yeah, I know. We got a Ritter clip. We're going to see some of his bullshit here in a second. Dude, and all the Russia shill pundits getting everything wrong, getting Trump wrong about not bombing Iran ever before the election, and then still claiming Israel's going to be destroyed, and Hezbollah and Hamas and Iran and everybody's going to win. Ukraine's going to be done in 2 weeks, like they've been saying for 5 years now. It's going to be over in 2 weeks. Zelensky's done. Are they all paper tigers? Iran, China, and Russia, all paper tigers? I don't think so. China and Russia have more nukes than us. Hold on, let's see that one again. It's going to be a whole lot of that. All right, so look at how... dude... Shout out Big Tech and his buddy Waffins, I guess, is the one that found this. But I covered this 4 days before. So September. Oh, wait, no, hold on. Big Tech called it. Look at this, guys. This is fucking crazy. Every single time. February 23rd. So 5 days before the 28th, I tweeted, what's up with this Jewish holiday where they Purim, the Sabbath before Purim, where they celebrate the destruction of Haman and the Amalek of Persia in the Purim story. I think Waffens found that the Polymarket day was way high volume, like 38 times more volume than the other days. I called it Kabbalistic insider trading. I also noticed, I saw that everybody was talking about on the 28th that there's a cosmic alignment with all the planets. I said, will the strike happen on the 28th, 5 days before? Why is the volume so high? Right? Here's the video of me on the show 4 days before talking about it. This is what Big Tech showed me. I think he said he stumbled upon this on a stream. Will the strike on Iran happen on the 28th of this? I don't know anybody else that called the 28th. Apparently some Jews knew, some investors knew. There was insider trading. There was prior knowledge. Why is the volume so high on Polymarket? So look at the Polymarket. So the volume for the 26th, this is how next level we are. 1.9 million volume. And then 1.6 on. Everybody knew the attack was happening. They've wanted the attack for 30 years. Times more volume. 38 million on February. Trump lied too, by the way, and said, "Oh, and we're doing negotiations." I don't know who's ever going to trust us in good faith again when we always do negotiations and kill you at the negotiation table, basically. February 28th. And then I think the days after, it went back down to these levels. What is going on? Why is there so much more volume and betting and odds that it's going to be this day? Well, what is that day on the Jewish calendar? It is the Zachor, the Zachor, I don't know how to say it, on the Sabbath before Purim, which is going to be the 28th. They celebrate the foiling of Haman, the Amalekites' plot to destroy the Jewish people in Persia. So the Amalek. Okay. And then I go over the general. I fact check the cosmic alignment too in the clip, and then listen to what I say. Well, that is on the 28th. So wow. Imagine how crazy that's going to be if it really does happen on the 28th on the holiday. That will be Twilight Zone. Well, we're in Twilight Zone because it happens. The Jews are assassinating the modern-day Haman, leader of Persia, they're celebrating the destruction of Haman. Remember what Amalek did to you, Purim holiday. They mean business. These guys mean Jewish religion, prophecy, scripture, business. You better take it damn serious what they say about the destruction of Edom and Esau, who they view as America at the end of this war. And no, Jesus and the Mahdi aren't going to come and save you. These Abrahamic lunatics are going to blow up the goddamn planet if we don't stop them. This Jewish prophecy bullshit that subversive frauds like Dugan and all the Abrahamic agents are promoting.
Prophecy is how they enslave us.
All right? Okay, right again. We're right about Trump getting in with Kushner and doing their peace Abraham Accords and starting the war with Iran. All right? Everybody else was wrong. All the other MAGA shills and JQers were wrong, just like they're wrong about religion. They were wrong about Trump. It's time the people that are wrong over and over again to lose credibility. And people to start paying attention to who's been right about things. All right. After the fact, people are noticing there's 6 suspected insiders made $1.2 million betting on U.S. strike on Iran. Big Tech's buddy, Waffens, I think he watches my show too. Apparently, he was trying to invest in this. I think that's how he stumbled upon this high volume that day.
Ioliva sent $10 on Rumble. Hey, Adam. Great job calling all of this, especially on the air. Such a breath of fresh air from the Goy slop.
Yeah, well, I really got to credit Big Tech. But That's how the group effort works. It is a group effort. It is crowdsource. And the intel community, the big tech intel community, one of my top generals found it and relayed it to the command center. And we got it out there. But look at this. Also now, 6 suspects, brand new wallets on Polymarket. Guess who's Trump's son sits on the board of Polymarket. Polymarket is super sus. All these insiders are going to be profiting off of foreknowledge of events. But they made a bunch of huge bets on this, made out like bandits. Apparently, not everybody can join Polymarket. There's some wait list or something, too. So insiders are profiting off of all this shit. But there's some serious stuff like Polymarket. This guy called Magamian made $500,000 in a single day betting on the strike of Iran. Placed 71 minutes before the news broke. They turned $87,000. You don't just throw $87,000 on the attack happening that day.
For my no more most wish Islam is real, so Iran has up Israel. Don't want any civilians hurt anywhere, the more ignorant U.S. soldiers. Peace and love, brother.
Thank you. I got to see what was censored there in those words. It censors so much I can never tell. Donald Trump Jr. sits on the... So he made $1 million from $87,000. Guys aren't dropping $87,000 that an attack is going to happen on Sunday unless they know something's going up. They should be investigated for this. Predicting markets cannot be a vehicle profiting off advanced knowledge of military action.
$20 on Rumble. Almost done with your book, Adam. Great stuff. Appreciate what you do, as always.
Dude, if you read my book and you understand and remember what's in my book, you guys are going to be so green-pilled and have such a wealth of knowledge and understanding of the Jesus deception. That was, I just kind of realized that was the main objective of the book, was to turn everybody into super educated, having all the facts on the Jesus midrash. We need transparency and oversight. Yeah, they'll never get to the bottom of that. We won't. Now they're openly on CNN talking about how this is an attack on Amalek. Or should we say, Amalek. Kabbalah Amalek. Timing of U.S.-Israel attack on Iran bears symbolic meaning in Judaism. Tal Shalev writes, the timing of the U.S. and Israeli attack on Iran bears symbolic meaning in Judaism. Ahead of the upcoming Jewish holiday of Purim, worshippers read the specific portion from the Old Testament known as the Zachor. Zachor! The passage from the book of Deuteronomy commands the ancient Israelites to remember an unprovoked attack by the nation of Amalek. Thank you, Masterpiece.
Let's switch to Ziontologist.
Ziontologist, that's good. Judeo-phobic Ziontologist.
Zorn Dare Edom sent $5 for analyzing all I can over the weekend. Don't think Iran is a paper tiger. Air defense likely isn't needed for their strategy. I do think they will whittle down Israeli and U.S. missile defenses, then unleash Syria S already. Propaganda at 11.
They're going to challenge the defense, the Iron Dome. Also, they're having the Goy beam now. They've unleashed the laser for the first time defending Israel. They're going to deplete their resources. They're going to get some hits in, but I mean, air defenses aren't part of their thing. We took out all the air defenses. They weren't good to begin with. We took them out. Russia apparently isn't helping because there's too many Jews, because they're pro-Jew, actually, and pro-Israel. And, yeah, dude, they already took out all their shit. Dude, they're going to get wrecked. They're getting regime change there. The war doesn't end with them. It's just this is the beginning stages before it really hits the fan with Russia and China. If the rabbis in the Abrahamics get their Gog and Magog. The passage is read publicly before Purim to fulfill the mitzvah of remembering Amalek as Israel's archetypal enemy. Yeah, no big deal. We're just out here bombing ancient empires because of...
Fallout can't wait to become a 200-year-old ghoul cowboy. Cowboy hat face emoji, using bottle caps as money.
It could get really bad. These people are dead serious, and what they say about Edom, it could get really, really bad, guys. Yeah, we're just going to war for Israel to check notes, fulfill the mitzvah of blotting out Amalek. Chris Burnett. I got to get Chris back on here. Israelis dancing in the bomb shelter about it, chanting Amalek. You hear the Amalek? Amalek. Danny Dannon, ambassador to the UN, cites the Holocaust and Purim to justify their war.
So what is next if those is going along with the prophecy?
What is next if those is going along with prophecy? Escalation with more war. Iran, or Russia, China, other Middle Eastern countries. All right.
To remain silent. The story of Purim happened.
A fake story, by the way, not a real story. Not in the Persian records. No archaeological evidence. A made-up myth that they're using to now genocide people.
The story of Purim.
Shouldn't say genocide. They're not genociding Iran yet, but attack.
The story of Purim happened more than 2,500 years ago, in the same place, in ancient Persia. An evil minister by the name of Haman sought to wipe out the Jewish people.
Dude, these guys did it on their day, and you're trying to tell me, like, oh, Chabad doesn't have that much influence, or it's just the secular Jews. Oh, the Orthodox Jews are fine. They believe in God, like all these shills are saying.
And it began with words, with chants. It became a decree. It could have become a genocide. But Queen Esther refused to remain silent.
Laura Loomer.
She spoke.
The modern day Queen Esther, Laura Loomer.
She acted before it was too late.
Ivana Kushner. Ivanka.
It is not only an ancient lesson, it is a modern one. Last week, I stood at the gates of Auschwitz with dozens of UN ambassadors. We stood in a place that shows what happened.
Dude, he's invoking the Holocaust to attack Iran. Wow, dude.
When radicalism and extremism grows and no one stops it in time. Before the Holocaust, some leaders, serious leaders, believed that they could calm aggression with concessions. They were completely wrong. Giving in did not stop evil. It strengthened it. Winston Churchill understood what Queen Esther understood long before him. When destruction is declared and weapons are being prepared and assembled, leaders must act. Not later, now. Today, President Trump and Prime Minister Netanyahu understand that same lesson.
Dude, Israel couldn't get anybody better than this? What a terrible advocate. He's the worst.
Stereotyping Jews is terrible.
Danny Dannon is the worst. John shared from Safari, according to Jewish prophecies, Rome, America, and the West will defeat Persia, Iran. Its rule will last 9 months as a pregnancy before the birth pangs of the Messiah. The Son of David will come only when the wicked kingdom of Rome spreads its dominance throughout the world for 9 months. That'll be your American golden age that Trump touts. Okay.
Short time ago.
Let's get into Trump's first thing. I haven't watched the whole thing beginning to end, only short clips of it. Let's get through his first announcement late Friday night.
A short time ago, the United States military began major combat operations in Iran. Our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian regime, a vicious group of...
Dude, they are not an imminent threat to Americans. This is all for Israel, dude. This isn't because of Epstein. This isn't because of Baal statue burnings. This has been the Kabbalistic plan. This has been the obviously Purim-connected destroy Amalek agenda, according to their end times playbook. Netanyahu has been talking about this for 30 years. He's wearing a cap because this is a wartime president, Trump. No, it's because he was having a bad hair night. Couldn't get in his hairstylist for the right look for the launch, for the beginning of Gog and Magog, so he went with the hat.
Hard, terrible people. Its menacing activities directly endanger the United States, our troops, our bases overseas, and our allies throughout the world. For 47 years, the Iranian regime has chanted death to America and waged an unending campaign of bloodshed and mass murder, targeting...
Stupid for that. Stupid for that. A whole lot of chanting death to America. It's like I'm seeing the memes. The Jews are dancing on the grave of the supreme leader, and they're laughing and memeing. They're like, he fights, dedicates his whole life to fighting the evil satanic West, and then gets killed on the first day. Although it's not really the first day, because the war really started last year.
The United States, our troops, and the innocent people in many, many countries. Among the regime's very first acts was to back a violent takeover of the U.S. Embassy in Tehran, holding dozens of American hostages for 444 days. In 1983, Iran's proxies carried out the Marine barracks bombing in Beirut that killed 241 American military personnel. In 2000, they knew and were probably involved with the attack on the USS Cole. Many died. Iranian forces...
He's just blaming, like, loosely everything that's ever happened in the Middle East on them right now.
And maimed hundreds of American service members in Iraq. The regime's proxies have continued to launch countless attacks against American forces stationed in the Middle East in recent years, as well as U.S. naval and commercial vessels in international shipping lanes. It's been mass terror, and we're not going to put up with it any longer. From Lebanon to Yemen and Syria to Iraq, the regime has armed, trained, and funded terrorist militias that have soaked the earth with blood and guts. And
blood and guts.
Proxy Hamas that launched the monstrous October 7th attacks on Israel, slaughtering more than 1,000 innocent people, including 46 Americans, while taking 12 of our citizens hostage. It was brutal, something like the world has never seen before. Iran is the world's #1 state sponsor of terror, and just recently killed tens of thousands of its own citizens on the street as they protested. It has always been the policy of the United States.
He's even saying terror like the Israelis. He hears it so much. It's like Avram. I don't like terror, I like terror. Like my friends the Jews say.
In particular, my administration, that this terrorist regime can never have a nuclear weapon. I'll say it again. They can never have a nuclear weapon. That is why in Operation Midnight Hammer last June, we obliterated the regime's nuclear program at Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan. After that attack, we warned them never to resume their malicious pursuit of nuclear weapons, and we saw...
But the Israelis said they did, so we had to bomb them again. Too bad.
Repeatedly to make a deal. We tried. They wanted to do it. They didn't want to do it. Again, they wanted to do it. They didn't want to do it. They didn't know what was happening. They just wanted to practice evil. But Iran refused, just as it has for decades and decades. They've rejected every opportunity to renounce their nuclear ambitions, and we can't take it anymore.
What? every opportunity to renounce. Every time I've seen them talk about the nukes, they say they're not building nuclear weapons. What is he talking about?
Instead, they attempted to rebuild their nuclear program and to continue developing long-range missiles.
Are we going to get any proof of that ever? Doubtful.
Very good friends and allies in Europe, our troops stationed overseas, and could soon reach the American homeland. Just imagine how emboldened this regime would be if they ever had and actually were armed with nuclear weapons as a means to deliver their message. For these reasons, the United States military is undertaking a massive and ongoing operation.
Candace Owens, what are you doing here? My bad. I forgot. We're not anti-Jewish. We're anti-Khazarian. Yeah, those Khazarians are at it again, following their ancient Jewish plan. How dare them?
There's a very wicked, radical dictatorship
in the Frankists and the Sabbateans.
America and our core national security interests. We are going to destroy their missiles and raise their missile industry to the ground. It will be totally, again, obliterated. We're going to annihilate their Navy. We're going to ensure that the region's terrorist proxies can no longer destabilize the region or the world and attack our forces.
Dude, this is the guy that campaigned on no new wars with Iran, no war with Iran. Promised it, but we knew he was going to do it. In fact, we're going to show you that since the very inception, the very beginning of his presidency, even before he announced he was running, Iran was central on his talking point list. Central. We're going to show you some of that footage towards the end of the show.
And no longer use their IEDs or roadside bombs, as they are sometimes called, to so gravely wound
Mission Shaboskoy, full steam ahead.
Thousands of people, including many Americans. And we will ensure that Iran does not obtain a nuclear weapon. It's a very simple message. They will never have
Thunderstorm 9 sent $5 on Rumble. Israel stated years ago they were going to destroy all countries allied and friendly with the Axis during World War II.
Yeah. Netanyahu has his circle of peace, the new Middle East, the 7 countries in 5 years or whatever with the PNAC neocon plan.
Nuclear weapon. This regime will.
Israel wants complete hegemony in the greater Israel. They're openly saying it now. The Shaboskoy politicians like Huckabee are in the interview with Tucker. He's like, they could take it all. The Bible says so.
That no one should.
What's up, Volca Spirit? He says this is George Bush levels of classic BS. This is going to age even worse. And all you suckers shilled for Trump fell for it again. And I was right. For the last decade on Trump.
Challenge the strength and might of the United States
Zion Don.
Forces. I built and rebuilt our military in my first administration, and there is no military on earth even close to its power, strength, or sophistication. My administration has taken every possible step to minimize the risk to U.S. personnel in the region. Even so, and I do not make this statement lightly, the Iranian regime seeks to kill. The lives of courageous American heroes may be lost, and we may have casualties. That often happens in war, but we're doing.
You're gonna die for Goyim. You're gonna die in this war, this holy war for Israel. It's the way it is.
This not for now. We're doing this for the future, and it is a noble mission. We pray for every service member as they selflessly risk their lives to ensure that Americans and our children will never be threatened by a nuclear-armed Iran. We ask God to protect all of our heroes in harm's way, and we trust that, with his help, the men and women of the armed forces will prevail. We have the greatest in the world, and they will prevail. To the members of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard, the armed forces, and all of...
Hey, good thing, based Christ Crusader, Yeshua Tattoo, Third Temple enthusiast, Pete Hegseth, the Department of War. No more woke gay shit. We got a bunch of white men ready to go die for Israel now. Christ is king. Pete Hegseth.
I say tonight that you must lay down your weapons and have complete immunity, or, in the alternative, face certain death. So, lay down your arms. You will be treated fairly with total immunity, or you will face certain death. Finally, to the great proud people of Iran, I say tonight that the hour of your freedom is at hand. Stay sheltered. Don't leave your home. It's very dangerous outside. Bombs will be dropping everywhere. When we are finished, take over your government. It will be yours to take. This will be probably your only chance for generations. For many years, you have asked for America's help, but you never got it. No president was.
Freedom is here. Help has arrived, Iranian girls that want to be on OnlyFans. Help has arrived. Freedom is here. Take over your government. Love the Jews. Join the Abraham Accords. Give us all your oil.
Willing to do what I am willing to do tonight. Now you have a president
It's
who
hot.
is giving you what you want.
Winter's over.
Let's see how you respond.
Winter is
America
coming.
is backing you with overwhelming strength and devastating force. Now is the time to seize control of your destiny and to unleash the prosperous and glorious future that is close within your reach. This is the moment for action. Do not let it pass. May God bless the brave men and women of America's armed forces. May God bless the United States of America. May God bless you all. Thank you.
Hoorah! Hoorah! No new wars. We're going to show you all of the lies of Trump promising no new wars from Tulsi Gabbard and all of them. It's such a clown show. I knew it was going to happen. Here's the real boss, King Bibi, talking about the strikes. Fuck, it's not in English. I got to read it. I just finished a meeting with the Minister of Defense, the Chiefs of Staff, and the head of Mossad. I gave instructions for the campaign yesterday. We eliminated the tyrant Khamenei, and along with him, we eliminated dozens of the regime's senior oppressive figures. Our forces are now striking in the heart of Tehran with increasing strength, and this will only grow stronger over the coming days. And yet, these are painful days. Yesterday here in Tel Aviv, and now in Beit Shamash, we lost dear people. My heart goes out to the families, and I send on behalf of all the citizens of Israel, may the wounded be flown up. We are in a campaign in which we are bringing the full force of the IDF to this campaign as never before to ensure our existence and our future. But we are also bringing to this campaign the assistance of the United States, my friend, President Trump. Its military, Esau, will serve its brother with the sword. What they want to do for 40 years, decisively strike the terrorist regime. I promise so, and it will be done. Okay, before we get to all the Trump shills that were promoting it, I ratioed Sneeko so bad. We'll get to that in a second here. Here's Trump's statement again from today. The other one was Friday night. This one's a few minutes ago. Yeah, stupid disinfo Candace says, Goya must die so the Khazarian mafia can expand their borders. Dude, it's a Judaism, Torah, Yahweh, Jew plan to have greater Israel, not Khazaria, you stupid disinfo bitch. God, dude. I've been harping on the Khazarian thing for fucking years, and then now it's still this pervasive and being this disinfo being pushed, this diversion. Oh, it's so disgraceful. 31,000 likes.
Military, the world has ever.
Here's the update from a few minutes ago.
Over the past 36 hours, the United States and its partners.
Yeah, the Goyim must die so the fake Jews can expand their borders and worship Baal. Awesome Jew claims for the first time in history, Israel's deployed the Iron Beam laser defense system to intercept rockets. Israel is now using its space lasers. Well, not really, because it's not coming from space. I'm sure Elon and Space Force and Israel are all working on that if they haven't done so already. But this one is based on the ground. But it's the Goy beam. Let's see the Goy beam in action. I don't even know if you can really see it. It just looks like normal Iron Dome. Where's the beam? I'm not seeing a laser beam here. Which part of the U.S. did they steal that from? That's funny.
Have, over the past 36 hours, the United States and its partners have launched Operation Epic Fury, one of the largest, most complex, most overwhelming military offensives the world has ever seen. Nobody's seen anything like it. We have hit hundreds of targets in Iran, including Revolutionary Guard facilities, Iranian air defense systems. Just now it was announced that we knocked out 9 ships plus their naval building, all in a matter of literally minutes. Iran's formerly supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, is dead. This wretched and vile man had the blood of hundreds and even thousands of Americans on his hands and was responsible for the slaughter of countless thousands of innocent people all across many countries. Last night, all over Iran, the voices of the Iranian people could be heard cheering and celebrating in the streets when his death was announced. The entire military command is gone as well, and many of them want to surrender into saving their lives. They want immunity. They're calling by the thousands. Combat operations continue at this time in full force, and they will continue until all of our objectives are achieved. We have very strong objectives. They could have done something 2 weeks ago, but they just couldn't get there. Earlier today, CENTCOM shared the news that 3 U.S. military service members have been killed in action. As one nation, we grieve for the true American patriots who have made the ultimate sacrifice for our nation, even as we continue the righteous mission for which they gave their lives. We pray for the full recovery of the wounded and send our immense love and eternal gratitude to the families of the fallen. And sadly, there will likely be more. Before it ends, that's the way it is. Likely be more, but we'll do everything possible where that won't be the case. But America will avenge their deaths and deliver the most punishing blow to the terrorists who have waged war against basically civilization. They have waged war against civilization itself. Our resolve, and likewise that of Israel.
This guy's begging for the Peace Prize as he bombs all these other countries and threatens Cuba and takes out Venezuela, and Israel's bombing all of their neighbors. And these guys, well, God is on our side. We're the good guys. If you're against us, you're evil because God's on our side. And they're like, you're satanic. No, you're satanic.
Has never been stronger. America is now, again, the richest, most powerful nation in the world by far. But the only reason we enjoy the quality of life that we do and the freedom and security is we have done things that others are unable to do. But it's because of warriors who are willing to lay down their lives to do battle with our enemies. And they do battle better than anybody. An Iranian regime armed with long-range missiles and nuclear weapons would be.
They just got mogged. They just got Gog and mogged.
We cannot allow a nation that raises terrorist armies to possess such weapons that would allow them to
no new wars
to their evil will.
America first.
We're not happening.
These dumb goyim fell for it.
To
You didn't listen to Adam Green and No More News.
Has the strongest military.
You trusted the plan.
Ever seen? I rebuilt our military in my first term. There's never been a military like we possess. And frankly, there's nobody even close, but we are now using that military for good. We want to have it for good purpose. We're undertaking this massive operation not merely to ensure security for our own time and place, but for our children and their children, just as our ancestors have done for us many, many years ago. This is the duty and the burden of a free people. These actions are right and they are necessary to ensure that Americans will never have to face a radical, bloodthirsty terrorist regime armed with nuclear weapons and lots of threats. For almost 50 years, these wicked extremists have been attacking the United States while chanting the slogan, "Death to America" or "Death to Israel" or both.
They are $5 on Rumble. Good to see a late night stream. Keep going strong, Adam.
Yeah, I got an appointment I got to go to in the morning for the family, and then I'm going to be on Brandon Martinez's stream tomorrow. I want to say 3 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Eastern maybe. I got to double check. So that's why we're doing the stream tonight. I was chomping at the bit to talk about all the news. I wanted to give it a little bit of time to see some of it unfold and then get on it. Breaking Iran World War III news. Here it is, guys. Soak it in.
Of terror. We are the world's greatest and most powerful nation, so we can do something about what they do. These intolerable threats will not continue any longer. I once again urge the Revolutionary Guard, the Iranian military, police, to lay down your arms and receive full immunity or face certain death. It will be certain death.
It will be
Won't
certain.
Be pretty. I call
The
upon
most
all
certain
Iranian
death ever.
patriots who yearn for freedom to seize this moment, to be brave, be bold, be heroic, and take back your country. America is with you.
We got Spencer's coming on Wednesday and Scorbina coming back on Friday.
I promise to you, and I fulfilled that promise.
Big week.
The rest will be up to you, but we'll be there to help. Thank you. God bless you to our incredible warriors.
I got a man on the street. I went out yesterday and did a man on the street too, talking about the Iran war, talking about Jesus, Satan. I ran into street preachers. It's going to be a great video, the new man on the street. Okay, before we get into the shills, let's check in on what the Christian Zionist propagandists are saying. John Hagee's take on the latest Iran attack. Mind you, John Hagee, who wrote the book Earth's Last Empire, with the eagle of Edom on it, the Roman eagle there, Earth's Last Empire. He's calling Russia Gog, Persia part of the Gog and Magog war. Let's hear what he has to say.
The prophet Ezekiel makes it clear that in the end of days, Russia, the king of the north, will invade Israel. Why? Because Ezekiel records God will put a hook in their jaw and drag them into Israel. You have Russia coming with Iran, what's left of them, and you have Turkey included with small Islamic groups coming. The Bible calls it a marching horde of people will invade Israel. And the first thing that God is going to happen is to bring this earthquake, and it will swallow approximately a third of that army. Immediately following, there will be a massive confusion. The Bible says every man's sword will be turned against his brother. It will be what you call friendly fire. Every man's sword is turned against his brother. They will kill another third of that army. And then the third weapon that God used for this invading army will be fire and brimstone, just like he did for Moses. Remember that when Moses came down the mount with the 10 Commandments, and the children of Israel had been worshiping the golden calf, God didn't wring his hands, and neither did Moses. God just opened the ground and swallowed those who had violated the principles of God, and it was quite an object lesson that Israel never forgot. I think that the power of God is going to be demonstrated here just exactly like that. The Bible then says it will take Israel 7 months to bury the dead. The world will know that the God of Israel is God because...
Dude, promoting these Bible prophecies should be illegal. Promoting these death cult prophecy lies should be illegal. Anybody promoting prophecies as real right now is an accomplice and part of the problem. Dugan being one of the big ones hyping it so hard. He thinks he's like the Bene Gesserit and Dune whipping up the Fremen for a messianic apocalyptic galactic war.
The weapon that God will use invading that army will be fire and brimstone with great hail from heaven. That's all in the Bible. The Bible says, he that keepeth Israel neither slumbers nor sleeps. The Bible says, God speaking, I am going to curse those who curse you, Israel. I want everyone who lives in Russia to listen up. God is against you. The God of heaven is against you. Almighty God is going to bury your army at Israel. It'll take them 7 months, according to the prophetic word of God. Now you know.
Now you know, Goy. Now you know the script. Lindsey Graham admits the true purpose of removing the Iranian regime is that it will prompt Saudi Arabia to recognize Israel as the Jewish state. Now, I'm pretty sure a two-state solution is what they're waiting for on that, at least some type of
My belief is
deal.
When this regime falls and new people come along, that we're going to have an historic opportunity to do things in the Mideast that no one has dreamed of in 1,000 years. That if the regime collapses, then I think the likelihood of Saudi Arabia, the center of Islam, the keeper of the holy mosque in Mecca and Medina, I've been there many times, is willing to recognize Israel, the Jewish state, which would be the effective end of the Arab-Israeli conflict. What does it matter to you? How much money have we spent and how many people have lost their lives because we get sucked into this conflict? My belief is...
Okay, let's see this one. NBC anchors ask Iran why it's justifying attacks on American bases in the region.
So for clarity, you said that your missiles cannot reach the United States by design, that you do not want to reach the United States, but you also said it would be necessary as a defensive vehicle that you could if necessary. So to be clear, are you committing that Iran is not and will not build missiles that would have the capability to reach the United States?
I can confirm, yes.
Sir, if that's a red line for you, why is attacking U.S. military bases abroad justified?
But because they are attacking us. They are U.S. military, installations, facilities, bases who are attacking us. We are under attack. Why don't you, recognize this?
Dude, we're literally attacking them and bombing their capital and assassinating their leader. And then they go, you think you're justified to attack our bases? He says he's not going to attack America's homeland.
In fact, we are under the attack by U.S. forces in the region. So we have every right to defend ourselves. And how to defend ourselves? We attacked, the U.S. bases. This is obvious. This is a very simple fact. And I hope that, and I'm sure that people would understand that. We are not the one who attacked Americans. We are only defending ourselves.
Crazy work asking that question. Let's see. People are saying there's disinfo from Rachel Maddow and propaganda pretending it has nothing to do with Israel. Let's see this.
And so why did Donald Trump just start this war? Why is this happening?
Nothing about the Jews. Watch.
Cui bono, right? Who benefits? It's always useful to start that question in any country. Who benefits? Who wants?
Okay. She's off to a good start so far. Who benefits?
Iran bombed off the map, and for their own reasons. Who are Iran's rivals and enemies?
Israel.
Perennially, it's the Gulf Arab states, countries like Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates and Qatar. You know, Qatar, the country that just gave Donald Trump a really, really nice $400 million.
Oh my God, we did it for Qatar?
For his own use, both during the presidency, during his presidency, and after. Trump plans to take that.
No, wow. Talk about left cover.
And you remember United Arab Emirates, famous for recently structuring a totally...
Dude, MSNBC and Rachel Maddow are blaming Qatar and UAE and the internet, and Candace Owens is blaming Khazarians. They're blaming Epstein and Baal worship. Like, what are we doing here?
Financial transaction so that $2 billion of it would be stuffed into the Trump family's otherwise worthless brand new crypto financial firm.
They say Qatar.
Remember the Saudis, who stuffed another $2 billion into the pockets of Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, just as Trump's first term in office came to a close. You might remember enough people were alarmed about that when it happened that the Trump folks actually sort of bothered to come up with an excuse for what made that okay. They said, don't worry, Jared will never again work for the U.S. government. He's never coming back to Washington. So it's okay that he's taken all this money.
Yeah, all the Trump shills like Kushner won't be back. He's not going to be back. Don't worry about him. Like, yeah, he is. He's going to come back and he's going to do his whole Abraham Accords. And now he's in Russia. He's doing Gaza. He's on the board of peace. Come on. I'll show you the tweets here in a second. I said Trump's going to, like in 2023, 2022, I said Trump's going to be back with Kushner for peace in the Middle East, and we're going to see our Gog and Magog wars.
From the Saudis now. We will
Yeah, the Chai Coms. Thank you, Buscemi. You're right.
1949 sent $10 on Rumble. Everyone knows it's the She-Coms.
Yeah, that's what she'll say you next. It's like it's the war against the
never have to worry about having somebody involved in U.S. policy who has also just been given billions of dollars by Saudi Arabia, apparently for no reason. Well, that was the explanation when he took all that money from the Saudis at the end of Trump's first term.
Because he did stuff for them.
He has been leading the negotiations on behalf of the United States
He's
government
not their puppet. They're doing business.
Before we just started this war with them today. I mean, Secretary of State Marco Rubio was in St. Kitts this week. It wasn't him. No, it was Jared Kushner, the president's son-in-law, recently paid billions of dollars by Iran's chief rival, and nevertheless sitting there alongside...
He was already a billionaire. He's always been a billionaire. He's not some Saudi Arabian puppet. They did a deal. He did pro stuff for them, and they paid him off for it.
Real estate friend Steve Witkoff, who has sought recently to improve.
Wow, it's so bad. I haven't seen anything from Maddow in so long. This is how they're keeping the left in the dark. They tell the left, they go, yeah, it's not Israel, it's all America's fault, and Israel's just white colonial Europeans. Nothing to do with Judaism. Don't worry about it.
Fortunes by going to Qatar to seek money from its sovereign wealth fund.
Wow, that was. I hope she talked about Israel in some other part, but I don't think she did. Look at this. Former Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett marks Turkey for destruction after Iran. I've seen a few of them also saying that. I wonder if this is the same clip.
A new Turkish threat is emerging. I want to be very clear. Turkey and Qatar have gained influence in Syria, are seeking influence elsewhere and everywhere throughout the region. And from here, I warn.
Uh-oh. We got some more Amalekites we just realized we got to go take care of. We got some more people practicing evil we need to go destroy.
Turkey is the new Iran.
Not a lot of claps.
Erdogan is sophisticated, dangerous, and he seeks to encircle Israel. And while some senior Israeli...
While the Young Turks is clearly fairly kosher in the final analysis, Cenk has been doing a fantastic job riling up righteous anger against Israel. Anna did say Zionism has nothing to do with being Jewish, by the way.
That's right. Yeah, I saw play the clip of them saying that the other day. No, they're not it. They're not it. They're sus.
We're on Qatar's payroll. Qatar and Turkey are nourishing the Islamic Brotherhood monster that is growing and eventually might become as dangerous as the one created by Iran. Turkey and Qatar
crazy. Turkey's in NATO,
but also in Gaza.
Turkey's a NATO ally, and we got Israel calling them out, ready for another war.
Through the front door and everywhere, and trying to create a new choke rink. Turkey is trying
they
to
never
flip
start
Saudi
picking
Arabia
fights
against us and establish a hostile Sunni axis with nuclear Pakistan.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, before we get to rabbis, hold on. Let's get oh no, we'll go do the Scott Ritter thing in a second. I'm noticing all the Trump shills who backed him before 2024 election and the last decade. They're all running around Twitter pretending like they predicted the bomb. First of all, nobody predicted the bombing. It's been obvious they want to bomb him for the longest time and that they were about to do it. They already did it last year. Getting it on the 28th is pretty cool, though. They have no shame, though, and you goldfish brains fall of it. All of these shills that promoted Trump like this. The nerve of Sneeko. Look at this. I ratioed him so bad here. 7,000 likes. He deleted his post. His post said, "I told you so." Like he told you Trump was going to bomb. And I said, no, Sneeko. You helped get Trump elected. You did your UFC vote Trump, our best chance at global peace. You got 60,000 likes and 1.4 million views. And I said, this is going to age badly if Trump bombs Iran. And I was right, and it did. And when they bombed Iran last year, I went and pulled this receipt, and Sneeko deleted this tweet. And then he still has the chutzpah to say, I told you so. I told you he'd bomb Iran when this was you, when it mattered right before the election, 3 days before the election.
Tonsky Adam sent $10 on Rumble. Jealous God just got off work. You have been right about everything. What's your next prediction? Attack on America or Dome of the Rock?
Well, I got something about the Dome of the Rock in a second. Well, like I said, there escalation with other Muslim countries. They're bombing all their neighbors right now. And Russia and Iran, Russia and China, and North Korea. So I pulled that receipt on him. I ratioed the hell out of him. He deleted his post. Sneeko is so trash, dude. He's so subversive. I saw Dugan retweeting him today. He's keeping it. He's a good Noahide, keeping everybody retarded and in the Abrahamic matrix. The nerve of this guy to think he can say, I told you so. When I was warning everybody and he was saying Trump's our best chance at global peace. Alex Jones, he's trying to justify the attack. Like, well, Iran didn't want to make a deal, so Trump had to do it, basically. I'm against it, but let me make all these excuses why Trump just got tricked into it and blah, 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 and it's actually a good thing. And I said, nope, it's your fault, Jones. You were warned. You own this. Check the dates. July 24th, so a few months before the election in November, he says, Trump is unstoppable. That's why the bad guys are going to try it again and again. Protect Trump at all costs to save the republic. And I said, this is July 2024, before the election. He's going to unstoppably get us into a war with Iran, and you will be cheering it on with your usual Zio spin. All right? Game, set, match. Jones, wrong again. Me right again. All right? Conspiracy Truther collected some of these people, and we're going to hold them accountable for this, for their bullshit, either their ignorance, their gullibility, something more nefarious. Let's see some of these people who helped Trump get elected and own this now. They go, we didn't vote for this. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Hodge twins, shout out to every X account that got the message out to get 5 to 10 people to go vote for Trump. It worked. Great job, dude, on election day. 5,000 likes. Getting Zion Dawn back in, pretending that you're anti-Zionist while you shilled for Trump to get elected. Kim.com, another Russia shill, says, who's against him now? We're supposed to listen to him when he criticizes his criticisms of Trump now, even though they're wrong and off, many of them. When you were dumb enough to get him into office, vote Trump to save America and Elon. Owen Schroyer, this is symbolic. There's evil at bay. So now Owen's like Mr. Anti-Israel guy, Mr. MAGA betrayed us guy, Mr. Oh, they're all pedophiles and Satanists covering it up guy. But when it mattered, he says we must fight. We must elect Trump. God bless America. Should have known better. I was only telling you since 2015, Owen. Comic Dave Smith, libertarian, pro-Russia shill. Not funny. He says this is a joke though, but he shilled for Trump. There are plenty of reasons to vote for Trump. We don't need to invent more, but he shilled for Trump. At the Libertarian Convention, he got up and endorsed Trump. Fuentes, who I will credit, did opposed Trump before the election, right before the election, but still was wrong about Trump for the 8 years before that. But you still said he has your vote June 2024. It was only right before the election he did the flip against Trump. Dugan, oh, you're exposing the Baal Satanist, evil satanic West now and saying Trump's owned by Israel and stuff. But in 2024, right after the election, you said Trump is the king. Trump should stay in charge of the U.S. forever. Funny how all the Russia shills got this wrong. Kitsy Who, the book came out 3 weeks ago. Check the description. The book is out. Bestseller on Amazon. Where have you been? Suleiman. Okay, that's not really the biggest show one. Harrison said, vote Trump to avoid this. Now, to be fair, this is in regards to Ukraine and Russia talk. But he got us in more wars in the Middle East, Harrison. Can you admit you were all wrong to shill for Trump and I was right? Can we do that? Luke Radowski, another one, Russia shill. All the Russia shills somehow didn't notice that Trump was a hardcore Zionist and got everybody to go along with Trump's lies that there'd be no Middle East, no new wars and foreign interventions, and we were going to really be America first. Luke Radowski voted for Trump in 2016, voted for Trump in 2020, and in 2024. So maybe your opinion on Trump doing anything nowadays is null and void and you're an idiot and nobody should listen to you. Ryan Dawson, oh, the way they are treating him makes me have to vote for him. Well, you voted for the destruction of Gaza. You voted for the takeover of Gaza and the most Zionist president of all time. You put on the MAGA hat for the most Zionist president of all time. Myron Gaines, celebrating that he won over Kamala Harris, who I believe would not have been as pro-Zionist and not as friendly to Netanyahu and the Chabadniks as Trump was. Dave Smith, again, I'm not going to read all that shit. Ian Carroll, another one. Sneeko? All right. We're not going to forget. We're not going to forget. Spencer had come out against Trump and Russia years before the election. He's figured it out. He's figured out the Christian question as well. That's why he's coming on the stream on Wednesday. He says, you got to vote for Trump, guys. He's the peace candidate, the one guy who will stop World War III. Said all the Russia shills like Sneeko and Tim Pool, Tucker Carlson, Dave Smith, Alex Jones, Ian Carroll. Oh, we're bringing up all the receipts. We're calling everybody else. We're calling everybody out. Already did the Harrison. Remember Ian before the election, Ian Carroll, who blows up on the scene on TikTok and gets on every big platform and boosted by Alex Jones and close friends with InfoWars. Explodes to 1 million followers right on Joe Rogan. Remember before the election when he told everyone that Trump was not beholden to Israel? I don't think it's too much to ask to say that people who have been consistently terribly wrong about big things shouldn't be listened to, should lose credibility. Yeah, no one should ever listen to these scumbags again. But too bad the masses of sheep are dumb and have goldfish brain and don't have memory and like to be duped and like to be fed comforting, entertaining, conspiraslop lies. Ian wrote, October, just like a week or two before the election. How many likes? 18,000 likes. He says, Trump is the only president in any of our lifetimes who isn't completely beholden to them. How did that age? I called this out when it happened. I screamed at the top of my lungs at Ian and everybody, ignored, blacklisted, attacked by their bots and lemming followers. Who was right? I told you so. You were wrong. I remember when Ian Carroll goes on Joe Rogan and says that he thinks Trump is running a secret coup against Netanyahu. I don't know how you recover from something so stupid like that.
Against Netanyahu right now.
Why would anybody listen to this idiot ever again? He should go back to delivering pizzas and hanging out at Burning Man.
I suspect, I'm hoping I'm not blowing the lid on Trump's idea here. I kind of suspect that Trump is kind of in on a coup against Netanyahu right now. This is just my theory based upon the way he talked about like occupying Gaza and the way he's friends with Jared Kushner and the way he's friends with the Adelsons. I suspect that these powerful Jews, like the Adelson type people, are starting to realize that Netanyahu is kind of sinking this ship and he's kind of fucked it all up and it's not going well for Israel in the public conversation. Like I can ratio just about anyone I want on Twitter over the Israel thing because the public sentiment is just shifting. And
because you're boosted by Candace retards and third world bots and probably Russian bots and Jewish bots because you're so stupid and kooky and get everything wrong. You know, I've been around for 10 years. I've got a great track record. I've been covering stuff ahead of the crowd. I've been vindicated so many times.
Pete Rules 247 sent $5 on Rumble. Got the book last week. Haven't had a chance to open it yet. But can't wait to open it up. BTW. Isn't it crazy that America just invaded another county without a 9/11 type event and people just follow?
They don't even have the courtesy of giving us believable false flags anymore. They can't even give us an attack or stage something or allow something to happen before they attack. They go, oh, in 1984, Beirut was bombed and they're practicing evil, so we got to bomb them now. So Ian Carroll pops up after October 7th. All these new JQ influencers pop up after October 7th, get everything wrong, shill for Trump before the election, push all the conspiracy kosher garbage. We'll never cover the Jesus deception. And then still they're the ones that everybody listens to because everybody's retarded and you're dumb goyim. You like to be led by Judas Goat. kooks and idiots and shills.
It's not healthy for anyone, for Jewish people or anyone else. And I'd suspect that the powerful Jewish people are starting to see that and are starting to scheme on how do we fucking get Netanyahu out of there and put someone in that can actually move us towards some sort of peace. Because without a genuine desire for, like, Netanyahu is on fucking camera saying that they have propped up Hamas in the Gaza Strip because they don't want a real government in the Gaza Strip, because it's far better for them to run this occupation and to eventually take the land if Hamas is, that's not an exact quote.
AstroTurf.
Everyone should look that up for themselves.
But not just propped up, but funded.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and
if we all know that there's bots going on, you should see, like, well, what's the most engagement? Who's ratioing Elon like crazy on his own platform? You know, the more popular and more likes something has, the more likely it's a psyop and it's botted. That should just be common sense. So when new influencers pop up and they explode and they're never censored and they're boosted by the algorithm and they get invited on all the shows and then they're saying stupid shit like Trump's running a coup against Netanyahu and Trump's not beholden to Israel, all right? It glows. All right, now here's a little Russell Brand saying Trump opposes a war with Iran before the election. Funny how all the Russia shills got this wrong. Imagine that.
Trump's leaked audio. Are his admissions incriminating? Does sound incriminating, like this noise of someone literally going through a box, like, oh, here, look at the secret. But I suppose this is the question we want to ask you, and do let us know in the comments and the chat what you think. Don't you sort of feel already that all politicians, and particularly heads of state, have access to highly sensitive material?
Yeah, they all became Christian and shilled Jesus at the same time, too. I didn't even cover it yet. I will this week. We got Daily Mail running total goy slop headlines, fake headlines about, like, Noah's Ark found, or earthquake happened when Jesus was died, or what was the other one? I forgot the other one. But just total fake shit with sensational headlines that all the Christians just lap it up. Go, checkmate atheist, science is real. I believe science now. The Bible's real, all of it.
Material which they communicate about in private circles. It's not really the worst thing you can imagine someone in power doing. And isn't it more significant that the confidential and classified information pertains to a potential war with Iran? Isn't that the real story, rather than that Trump is rifling through them boxes? Yeah. Having a Diet Coke, not Diet Coke, full fat Coke for Trump.
It's funny, isn't it? Because basically this is about...
Dude, does this guy ever button up his shirt? I just saw him. He's going into trial now. He appeared at his court case for his sexual abuse trial, and he was carrying a Bible. He brought the Bible in, guys. If that doesn't tell you everything you need to know about this guy and his conversion, his Jesus grift...
Fat Coke for Trump.
It's funny, isn't it? Because basically this is about Trump, admittedly, I guess you could say illegally showing someone a classified document. But basically what he's saying is, you see, I told you I didn't want a war with Iran. And then the mainstream media going, aha, we've got you.
It's like the war with Iran is surely the important thing. I don't know. What has more impact on you? Is it that powerful people have access to classified documents that they maybe sometimes do not stay within the letter of the law around? Or is it that there's this ongoing forever war, perennial Armageddon plan that's amping up to what?
I like that. He knows that perennial Armageddon plan. That's I like that. Perennial. It never goes away.
Wage war on Iran.
Oh, but Trump's the one that opposes it. Trump opposes the neocon war. Hey, thank you, Anonymous. Yeah, button it up, dude. Jackson Hinkle, another Duganist Russia shill, also on InfoWars, saying Trump is the peace candidate. Funny how all these Russia shills got this wrong. They all wanted Trump in.
Well, I think...
And now they're all playing the controlled op, Christian, Muslim, Duganist, anti-Western, falling in the satanic trope alliance.
Well, I think Trump is the only candidate right now who's actually working to build global peace. He met with Kim Jong-un. He loves Xi Jinping. He loves Putin. He had great relations with all these leaders. And that's why the globalist deep state, at the end of the day, really hated him. Well, I think Trump is the only candidate right now who's actually working to build global peace. He met with Kim Jong-un. He loves Xi Jinping.
How'd that work out, Hinkle? Oh, blows up out of nowhere very recently after October 7th. Millions of followers on all the big shows. He's going over to third world countries, and they're praising him like he's the Lisan Glaib or whatever it is from Dune. Yeah, the communist Jackson Hinkle. MAGA communist. Wrong. On InfoWars, wrong. John Mersheimer, wrong. All the Russia shills. They were all hyping Trump and wanted Trump in as the peace candidate because they wanted NATO and America to stop supporting Ukraine against Russia so Putin could take Ukraine. That has a lot to do with this too. But we're going to pull all these receipts. Hey, shout out, by the way, I don't know who this is. I just discovered him, but Post Left Watch has gotten a lot of these clips.
Trump had been...
And have you guys not heard me over and over again talk about how Scott Ritter and Mersheimer and all these people are wrong over and over again?
I think if Trump had been president, he had been reelected in the 2020 election, that we would not have had the Ukraine war. It's clear to me that the Russians were very interested in avoiding a war, and then once the war started, shutting it down. And at the same time, I believe that Biden had no interest in accommodating the Russians. He had no interest in working out a diplomatic solution. And I believe that he bears a huge amount of responsibility for this war. I think that Biden's basic instincts are those of a warmonger. And I think that's not true of Trump. I think Trump is not that interested in fighting wars. And I think in the case of Ukraine, I can't prove this. We can't run the counterfactual. But I think if Trump had been president, we would not have had a war in Ukraine. I think if Trump...
Jimmy Dore and George Galloway, two more pro-Russia pundits. Let's hear how they got Trump wrong, too.
But before I get to him...
He was just over at the Kremlin, by the way, weren't you, George Galloway? Proud communist that worked in South Africa with all the Jews.
But before I get to him,
by his own admission,
the world turned upside down. I was thinking about the role that Trump is now playing. It's turned so upside down that all the liberals and leftists and progressives are the war party. And Donald Trump, who we were told was going to set the world on fire, he's the leader of the anti-war movement. Explain.
He is not. That's bullshit, and you're spreading a known liar, fraud, Zionist bullshit to get elected. How you like that explanation? Now Trump's...
He's the leader of the anti-war movement. War party. And Donald Trump, who we were told was going to set the world on fire, he
is now setting the world on fire, like we told you.
He's the leader of the anti-war movement. Explain.
Yeah, him and Netanyahu, end of the anti-war movement, totally.
So, yeah, that's exactly what a big reason why they wanted to get rid of Donald Trump. Right, because he wasn't as big a warmongers as they were. And, the thing they impeached him for was delaying shipments of arms to Ukraine. I mean, that is...
what a lie. They did not impeach Trump because of sending arms to Ukraine or stopping arms to Ukraine. What a lie. That's not what it was. Some of it had to do with a talk with Zelensky, but not because he's halted arms to Ukraine. That's not why he would. Why would the Democrats impeach him for? Oh, because he halted arms to Ukraine. That's why. Never mind. That would make sense. All right. So wrong again. Hey, Jimmy Dore on Ryan Dawson. Wrong again. Let's see, Jimmy Dore.
The only good news on this front, so it's hard to find good news on the war front. The good news is that Donald Trump was on Patrick Bet-David's podcast the other day, and he said that, he doesn't want regime change in Iran, yet we should leave.
Oh, well, I believe him. Oh, and I believe him. Oh, wow. Hey, it looks like you have no discernment, Jimmy Dore.
A podcast the other day, and he said that, he doesn't want regime change in Iran, yet we should leave him alone. He said, we can't even run our own country.
There you
And
go.
I was like, okay, look at he says, I want to have a deal that's good, that makes everybody happy. That's his MO. His MO is to try to find a deal that everybody likes, right? That was, the Abraham Accords. And so that's and he says he's going to end the Ukrainian war, so he'll end.
For again a word for Trump improving, but are saying cumulatively would have been better, or that Trump shouldn't have won Republican primary.
Yeah, okay, so I just fact-checked. There was 2 impeachment. This is why I was mistaken. He was impeached in 2021 because of January 6th. I was getting that mixed up. But I did remember it says part of the impeachment, which failed, by the way, was that he halted arms sales to Ukraine, and there was a phone call with Zelensky. I got that part right. And that's why he was investigated, because of that.
And this killing, which is what everybody wants. So
Which he could do. All America would have to do is say no more money for you,
No more
Zelensky.
money.
Just
No
like
more
that.
money.
That's over.
But the funny thing is now he's still backing Ukraine, right? No, me and Ryan have been friends for years, Steady, Guillermo. Sorry, I didn't clip this. We're showing all the people that got Trump wrong.
Only good news on this front. So this is in Iran, yet we should leave him alone. He said, we can't even run our own country.
Hold on. Look at Ryan's face when he says this.
And he said that, he doesn't want regime change in Iran, yet we should...
That's a sign of, and you believe that bullshit? That's probably what that face was.
Leave him alone. He said, we can't even run our own country.
There you
And
go.
I was like, okay, look at he says, I want...
I hope he wasn't impressed and believed that.
That makes everybody happy. That's his MO. His MO is to try to find...
No, I'm not trying to start. I've always argued with Dawson about Trump and Russia, so no, I'm not trying to start a beef.
So under 8 cent $5 add on your derisive scorn, and righteous vindication has never been more impactful and gratifying than tonight.
Oh, I'm glad you like it.
Congrats.
Jimmy Dore again.
Military and the intelligence. There was no more establishment figure than Donald Trump until he went rogue and said we shouldn't do those wars in the Middle East. And he thought the president should control the military and the intelligence community. And he was disabused of that idea very quickly. They did Russiagate against him. They impeached him twice. They did the January 6th. They did 4 different lawfare things against him. And now then they tried to kill him and assassinate him.
Oh, yeah, and then he still did it anyway. Still went to war for Iran anyway. So I guess that was all a bunch of bullshit.
That just step out of line that little bit. And that's what's happening with Elon Musk right now. Elon Musk is all those things. He's in bed with the CIA and the military industrial complex, but he's stepping out of line just a little bit, and they got to get him back. He's a little bit of a rogue billionaire, and they got to get him back in line. Would you agree with that assessment?
He's been in line.
Yeah, absolutely.
There was no more.
Dude, wrong. No, that assessment was trash, actually. Yeah, we played the clip of Mersheimer the other day, too. Remember him and Tucker? They were like, yeah, AIPAC's not Jewish. This has nothing to do with Jews and Judaism. They're always doing that line. Okay. Now here's Aaron Mate and Russell Brand in 2023 pushing the idea that Trump opposes war with Iran.
And
he's another big Russia guy, too.
Sent $5 sweaty goy Shiak.
It's so hot in here. It's been hot the last few days, yeah. I would like to have the suit on for such a big historical stream, but I would just sweat too much. Sorry.
Yeah. Well,
I think I have to get an AC unit in here at some point. Can't handle
because the media is
how hot it
obsessed
gets.
with Trump. That's all they care about. They're going to ignore the substance of the story, which, as you pointed out, speaks to Trump revealing that there was a plan to attack Iran, and he was against it. Therefore, I think making himself look good. But the media doesn't care about stopping warmongering because they support warmongering. They support.
Well, did you catch that? It was
revealing that there was a plan to. They're going to ignore the substance of. Yeah. Well, because the media is obsessed with Trump, that's all they care about. They're going to ignore the substance of the story, which, as you pointed out, speaks to Trump revealing that there was a plan to attack Iran, and he was against it. Therefore, I think making himself look good. But the media doesn't care about stopping warmongering because they support warmongering. They support it when the U.S. goes to war against anybody, no matter the consequences. And all they care about is ratings, and all they care about is going along with this campaign to undermine Trump, not because they care that Trump is a misogynist or has bigoted views. They don't think Trump is a suitable steward of the U.S. global war machine. He says the truth sometimes. He says we're in Syria to take the oil.
He's totally the war machine guy.
Spread democracy and fight terrorism.
The greatest military ever.
That we should have taken their oil as well when he launched a coup there. And they didn't care that he launched a coup in Venezuela. They just don't like that he's admitting that he wants to take the oil and crush, Venezuela's existence as an independent state outside of U.S. control. So that's why they're using cases like this with the classified documents to undermine Trump. And whether he's guilty or not, I don't really care. I don't worship at the church of classified documents. I don't respect the Espionage Act. I don't think it should exist. And I don't care about these intra-elite feuds. I care about the substance of what these stories contain. And as you point out, this story is more evidence that there is a, clamor to attack Iran. And it's very odd that we have to rely on people like Trump to stand up to it. And we certainly can't rely on our media to cover it because they don't care about stuff like this. They just care about spectacle and taking a part in this long run.
Yeah, we got to rely on Trump to not go to war with Iran. Totally.
And when they framed him as a Russian agent. And even this long report from John.
Oh, I guess you're wrong about that too, probably.
A special counsel showing what a scam Russiagate was. And there's been zero or close to zero introspection in U.S. media because they don't care about facts. They just care about whatever their agenda is.
What's your agenda? He worked for the Gray Zone with Max Blumenthal. All very pro-Russia. Critic of Russiagate. That's his whole thing. Tulsi Gabbard did a fundraising video in 2019 titled Trump's Path to War with Iran. We got to stop Donald Trump. Now she's the DNI, Department of National Intelligence. Is she going to say she's going along with it now, too? What a flip-flop. All the shills that went for her. She's a pro-Russia gal herself, isn't she?
Even though UN
What is going on here? I'm noticing a pattern with all these people. I never trusted this bitch.
Here are the steps that Donald Trump has taken to create a war with Iran.
It was all the Russia shills. Isn't that strange? Hey, I guess I'm just a crazy kook for noticing all this. They were all wrong.
First, he tore up the Iran nuclear agreement.
I am announcing today that the United States will withdraw from the Iran nuclear deal.
Second, he has escalated crippling sanctions against Iran.
The sanctions kicking in at midnight Sunday target Iran's oil exports, banking, and shipping, even though UN inspectors say Iran is still complying with the nuclear deal.
The United States will pursue additional sanctions, tougher than ever before.
Third, he designated Iran's military as a terrorist organization.
Secretary of State Mike Pompeo has announced that the U.S. is designating the Iranian Revolutionary Guard as a terror group.
Today, the United States is continuing to build its maximum pressure campaign against the Iranian regime. I'm announcing our intent to designate the...
She sold shirts saying no war with Iran in 2019, and now in 2025 and 2026, she's in Trump's cabinet backing his war against Iran. And you suckers fell for it again.
Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, including its Quds Force, as a foreign terrorist organization.
With this terror designation, the U.S. can sanction pretty much anybody who talks to or deals with or has any business whatsoever with the IRGC.
And fourth, he continues to deploy more and more U.S. troops to the region.
Just moments ago, the Pentagon authorized an additional 1,000 American troops to the Middle East in response to growing concerns over Iran.
The Trump administration announced yesterday that a U.S. aircraft carrier and a bomber task force are being sent to areas closer to Iran.
Yes, there will indeed be hell to pay. Let my message today be very clear. We are watching, and we will come after you.
We've got to stop Donald Trump from starting a war with Iran. I'm asking you to join me and support my legislation, the No More Presidential Wars Act. To qualify for the third presidential debate and make sure that our voices will be heard, I need at least 100.
What a sellout.
To contribute to our campaign. So I'm humbly asking.
What a fraud.
Please ask your family and your friends if they can send even just $1. They can click on the link or donate at Tulsi2020.com.
What do I mean when I say she's a Russia shill? She spews a lot of the Russia talking points. Look it up. Look online. It's not like I'm pulling this out of thin air. Michael Tracy says resign. This was her campaigning for Trump, promising no war with Iran.
Hello, New York! Join me as I say these words. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, and that we are endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights, and that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
See what I'm saying? Like, I'm not just making this up out of nowhere, okay? Even AI sees it. Has faced intense, long-standing criticism for allegedly echoing Russian propaganda and holding pro-Kremlin geopolitical views. All right? That's what I mean.
Yes. As we gather here today on this historic occasion, we stand together as proud Americans in understanding that these very rights are under attack. So we face this historic crossroads where our freedom and our future is in our hands. There's never been a more clear choice in any election in my life, and our ability to live in a truly peaceful and free and prosperous country is on the line. I love you too. And it is that love that brings us together here today. That love for freedom.
Love. She says love really
love
weird.
For our country and love for each other as fellow Americans, as children of God, that compels us to take action to save our country and defend our freedom. Now, this choice that we have before us is very personal to me. I'm a lieutenant colonel in the Army Reserve. I've served now for over 21 years. I've deployed to different war zones 3 times over that period, and I've seen the cost of war. For my brothers and sisters who paid the ultimate price, I carry their memories and their sacrifice in my heart every day. So this choice that we have before us as Americans is critical. It's important to us. It's important to those of us who serve, who have volunteered to put our lives on the line for the safety, security, and freedom of our country and our people, and it's critical to all of us. Here is the choice that we have. A vote for Kamala Harris is a vote for Dick Cheney, and it's a vote for war, more war, likely World War III and nuclear war. A vote for Donald Trump is a vote for a man who wants to end wars, not start them.
Wow. We can't let them get away with this shit.
Already that he has the courage and strength to stand up and fight for peace.
Yeah, totally.
A vote for Kamala Harris is a vote for open borders.
War is
where
peace.
Known violent criminals and Islamist terrorists are streaming across our borders, placing us at risk.
Dude, they know they had Trump plan to bomb Iran since 2015. Give me a fucking break.
A vote for Donald Trump is a vote for secure borders.
Hold on.
Aloha.
Okay, that was the Iran line. All right, you should resign. Okay. Also, I know what the Russian propaganda lines are. All you got to do is see what the Russia shills are saying and what RT is saying. Tying this latest Iran attack to Epstein or a Baal sacrifice are the Russia propaganda lines. I'm seeing all of them say it. Uh-oh. Hold on a second. Did I close out something I needed? No. All right, that's the Russian propaganda line. See here in RT.
I don't even think this should be called. But bear in mind, I don't even think this should be called.
Watch the collapse.
Thank you. Watch the collapse. Yeah, the Prince of Peace, you might say.
Prince of Peace.
The Prince of Peace, leading us for anointed for war in the end times war. So here's RT.
But bear in mind, I don't even think this should be called the Iran war, which is what they're trying to call it. It should be called the Epstein war, because all of this is furthering to try to hide what the cabal, basically the elite predator class cabal, is doing. And there's about 95.
Trying to hide. Netanyahu's wanted this war for 30 years. This is their prophetic war the rabbis have wanted for generations. The neocons wanted this in the 2000s. Trying to pin all this on Epstein as if it's like, oh, it's the baby cannibal Satan worshipers versus the holy Russian Christians and the devout Muslims.
What the cabal,
Why not the Netanyahu war? Why not the Jewish Gog and Magog war, the Purim war, the Amalek war? They're too busy trying to scapegoat, pin all of the West, the satanic West, on Epstein and Satanist. Why not call it the Jewish war, the Bibi war, the Kushner war, the prophecy war, the Trump war, Epstein war? All the Russian networks calling it the Epstein war. Might as well call it the Trump war. Netanyahu's wanted it forever. All Russia ever does is find a way to run cover for Jews. Do you notice that?
And you know how Israel protects its own citizens, and I hope it can continue to do so. As far as Iran goes,
who's this fat traitor?
By responding with strikes back to some of the Gulf states is because those Gulf states betrayed them, and
fattest journalists ever
are there. So they're trying to, protect themselves. And you know how Israel likes to say Israel has a right to defend itself. Well, Iran has a right to defend itself. But bear in mind,
lay off the bagels, Tara. Tara Reid. Hey, that's not the Tara Reid I remember. Russian Baal propaganda. Look at this. Russians with attitude. Never even heard them, but they got 400,000 followers. 2 Russians telling you how it is. They really couldn't let this go unanswered. 64,000 likes. Trying to pretend like the Jews are mad that you burned an effigy of Baal. They're happy about burning idols. They worship Yahweh, not Baal. They're trying to get this stuck into this stupid satanic Judeo paradigm. Epstein, calling it the Epstein war is like just trying to scapegoat some dead guy. I would call it the Jewish war, the Purim war, the Gog and Magog war, the Zionist war. Look, Iran was attacked for being against Baal Satanism and Epsteinism. The U.S. Zionist axis could not allow this to go unpunished. It had nothing to do with any of those things. This has been a plan in the works for decades. Why are they trying to focus the pinpoint it, put the microscope just on this one little satanic paradigm shit? By the way, 18,000 likes, 1 million views, as if this is what it's about. So base, dude. I already did the show on this. Dude, do you know how stupid these guys look to burn an enemy god of the Jews? Burning idols and destroying the competition of Yahweh is the whole point of Judaism. These Muslims can't just acknowledge that it's the God of the Bible and the prophecies because they believe in the God of the Bible and the prophecies. They worship the God of Abraham like good little Noahides, scapegoating some non-existent Satanists. And all this based on the Baal bank account lie, by the way. Such a psyop. So dumb. Right. I thought of that too.
We had John McCain singing about bombing Iran 20 years ago, yet people claim this war is about Epstein.
Yeah. Talk about trying to like deflect and scapegoat and miss the whole point. I thought of the same thing earlier today. Yeah, Judaism commands idol destruction, and you think you're going to offend the Jews by destroying an idol? The enemy of Yahweh idol, by the way? Okay, we don't need to watch this whole stupid cringe. Well, you just got your leader blown, so huge W. You burned a statue of a god the Jews don't worship, and then your leader got blown up, and your country's getting mogged in Gog and Magog. So huge W, Muslims. It's like they're designed to take the fall. They're the perfect enemy, designed to Ishmael fall into the trap and take the fall. And to lose. Guaranteed to lose. I was just talking about Amalek, and I'm so pissed. I just remembered that I've mentioned this many times over the years, but I don't think I got it in my book. When I talk about the prophecy deception, is that Judaism prophecies are like achievable. They're real world, political, can actually happen in the real world. Christianity and Islam's prophecies depend on magical, supernatural events that are never going to happen. Jesus is never going to come down and defeat the Antichrist. The Mahdi is never going to come and defeat the Dajjal. They got you trusting the plan that you need to allow their plan to happen. Yeah, of course this low IQ Christian QAnon peasant anti-Semitism dupes like Marjorie Taylor Greene says, yeah, I remember that too. It was noted. Iran burned a statue of Baal and now we're bombing them. It must be because of that. Yeah, Praise Jesus. 46,000 likes. We got Candace blaming Khazars. We got these people acting like it's Baal worshipers. Nobody's talking about it's Jews and Judaism and Yahweh. They won't do it. They won't do it. Can't do it. Remember when Putin was asked why Russia isn't helping Iran? Funny how I used to debate with people years ago about Putin being a Zionist, and they'll be like, no, he wouldn't arm Iran. He wouldn't back Iran against Israel. Oh, and turns out he's letting it happen.
As what's said,
shit. It's not.
Bail W.
Bail W, total Bail W. He said Israel is almost a Russian-speaking country. 2 million people from the Soviet Union and Russia live there, and we take that into account. And he's tied in with Chabad and Netanyahu. All right. I think they're going to use demonizing America and weakening America in our war with Iran before the big crescendo showdown with the big dogs, Russia and China, if anything. So it'll be used like war propaganda that we're the evil satanic ones and we attacked and we murdered them. And then, yeah, all of Russia's allies are being destroyed one by one, though. That's true. Thank you, Grace. You're so sweet, Grace. Grace is so harsh on almost everybody else, but she's so sweet to me. It makes me feel so special. Warms my heart, Grace, seriously. All right. Good old Sneeko. Oh, Dajjal is coming. The Antichrist is coming, guys. Hey, we're getting whooped up by Israel in America, but 1 million views on Dajjal is coming. The Antichrist in Islam, who they think is the Jewish Messiah. Dude, you need him, bro. And then Jesus and the Mahdi are going to come down and save you. 9,000 likes. Boosted by Dugan. Dude, Dugan instigating and antagonizing and egging on all of these Abrahamics because he wants to see the West destroyed is so fucking transparent and obvious and over the top. Anybody denying that is a part of this bullshit. Thanks. Hearts to you, Grace. Dajjal is coming. I said, the Abrahamic prophecies are all fake and nobody is coming to save you, Sneeko. Stop being so gullible. And why do I talk about Sneeko? He's got 1 million followers. He's one of the most influential streamers in the world. He's a Russia shill too. He's tied in with all the Russia shill networks as well. He says stuff like, oh, well, we know what the prophecies say. God wins, so who cares? I played the clip of him saying that shit too. Dugan also says, now it is moment to global Shia insurrection. The last call. Mahdi won't appear if we will not fight for him. Go die, Muslims, and your Messiah will appear. That's really what he's doing. That's really what he's doing. Hyping up all these Abrahamics to kill each other in an apocalyptic war. What a subversive... Yeah, go do terrorist attacks in the West is basically what he's saying. Go fight. Global insurrection. Like I said, he's like the Bene Gesserit, trying to play puppet master and manipulate all these people with prophecies. Average Dune IQ 85. Yeah, that's who he's playing off. Just like Dune, man. Dune was the fucking prophetic. Yeah, Andrew Tate, Sneeko, Myron. So when the Supreme Leader was killed, they posted this, 257,000 likes, in the name of the exalted Hyder, peace be upon him. This is what they posted. So it's like his death, his martyrdom, the 12th Imam is coming, and his sword will turn into missiles raining down on Israel and America, I guess. Let's see, need more Amalek's breakdown. This depicts the Mahdi moving from occultation, hiddenness, into what Shia Islam calls zuhur, his public appearance. The veiled figure represents the hidden 12th Imam, emerging to establish just rule after a period of chaos and oppression. In Shia Islam, the Mahdi is believed to have already existed and to have been hidden in a sort of stasis since the 9th century, and his appearance is understood as God ending that hidden state. Iran's religious ideology teaches that their government is only a caretaker authority during the imam's absence. The true legitimate ruler in their theology is the Mahdi, and history is moving toward his restoration of justice. So basically, this is the Islamic version of we want Moshiach now. I'm losing my voice. And also, they believe Jesus is going to return and do shit with the Mahdi.
Zorn Dare Edom sent $8 to the goal, Adam.
We hit
Hope
the
our
goal.
European
Let's
brothers
go.
and sisters-
They're nice. Thank you, Zorn Dare Edom. Thank you. And look, what does Sneeko say? Only Jesus can finally fix things. Anti-Judaic is here, always crushing. That the exact opposite of reality. Belief in Jesus is exactly why Israel exists. Jews have so much power. Europeans keep doing their bidding of Jews. You parasites only live in the USA because of Jesus. And Muslims, they're all being played by the Jesus deception to accept the Jewish Moshiach because they need it. It fulfills their prophecies of the Antichrist. And your Messiah and Savior in Jesus is never coming. Sorry, you fell for it again. Whoops, just like you're wrong about Trump and wrong about all this other shit, wrong about Putin. You're wrong about Jesus. Stop trusting the Jewish plan. Stop falling for Jewish tricks, please. I'm trying to get through your heads. You've been hypnotized by Jewish prophecy lies. Yeah, we win in the end, man. The prophecy says so. Only Jesus can fix things. We can't fix it. The Jesus collab with the Mahdi to take down the Antichrist? Yeah, bro, it's going to be so lit. Mahdi maxing, bro. So also, Amalek was telling me, I can't read all this, though. My throat's hurting. He'll be on sometime this week. We can get more into it. But basically, because their religion is that they have to wait for the Mahdi to come before they can have their big apocalyptic war, it debilitates them. What's the term Amalek said? Is he still here? It was eschatologically frozen. They're frozen. They're prophetically frozen that they can't even fight back until their Savior comes. Dude, the tag team of Jesus and the Mahdi, oh, dude, it's going to be so lit. Israel's going to be totally screwed then. Actual image of the long-awaited 12th Imam has returned. The final struggle against the Dajjal begins. Let the prophecy unfold. There he is, in the flesh. I actually make a pretty good Imam. That's aura. Do you guys respect that aura? Dude, Persian Aryan. We was Aryans, bro. Look at that, dude. I think it works. What do you think? If I had to choose between one of the two Goyim Jewish religions, should I go for Ishmael or Esau? Which look fits me better, guys? Which funny head covering should I rock with? Total ancient royal aura, huh? Dude, should I go Ortho bro or Muslim bro? Which flavor of Noahidism should I go for? It's close. It's close. Dude, I don't know, bro, but it goes hard. It goes hard. 7-year-old bride. That's funny. I love this new Muslim influencer, former Christian turned Muslim influencer I learned about. Faz says, don't forget, this is all so they can ultimately bring the Antichrist, the Jewish Messiah. Don't fall for it. Stay prayed up. Says the guy that's fallen for the Jewish prophecies. Says the guy that's worshiping the God of Abraham and believes that you're trusting the plan and that Jesus is going to come and save you. Yeah, don't fall for it, guy that's clearly fallen for it. Fallen for the script. How much longer these guys want to be pawns and dupes and useful idiots playing the villain in this Jewish dialectic? Yeah, I will impose white Sharia. That is true. Yeah, bro, don't fall for it, says the guy that's totally fallen for it. Dugan writes, the West is dethroned Christianity 5 years ago. The atheism and materialism triumphed there long ago. God is dead for the Western for hundreds years. Epstein moment is just terminal point. The modern West is the Antichrist, the civilization of Baal. See what I'm saying? This Baal shit is Russian, Duganist, controlled op bullshit. All right? I'm not making this up in my head. I'm not schizophrenic like the Russia shills are trying to attack me and say.
Mom has returned.
It has. Thank you, Lucian. See what I'm saying? Hey, why are we blaming atheism when this is a bunch of Judeo-Christian Yahweh Moshiach worshipers bombing Iran right now? It's not Satanist. It's not Epstein, Baal, beef jerky. It's Jews, it's Kabbalah, which you love and you know about, and that's why you're inciting all of this. It's Judeo-Christian Yahweh worshipers, not atheist, antichrist, Baal worshipers. This is kosher opposition running cover for what's really going on. And Dugan's doing it, and the Dugan mouthpieces and the Russian mouthpieces are doing it. All right? How many examples do we have to show you? Dugan writes, Epstein revelation is mystery of iniquity. The eschatological role of the Western civilization now is obvious. It is the kingdom of Antichrist, the red Babylonian whore. No excuse anymore. No uncertainty. So he's basically just an out-and-out Kabbalist calling us Edom. Western civilization is Edom, which is Antichrist and the new Babylon. All right? That's what he's trying to do. Yeah, you want to talk about Satan worshipers? Why are you on video reading some speech to Aleister Crowley? Some satanic speech. Amalek writes, this piece of trash is promoting Gog and Magog war advertisements, and you guys still call it Dugan derangement syndrome. Give me a break. Look at what he says. I've been exposing him doing this for years, by the way, too. He's just gone super mask off since like October 7th. There is no doubt we are entering the final phase of the historic cycle, the finalization of history. Greater Israel as the project, and the reality is pure end-time phenomenon, like modern Israel itself. The same goes for Iranian Shia, moment in history, the last fight. Dude, he's trying to blow up the world, according to these prophecies. Sneeko, here's your Christian Muslim prophetic. Dugan sounds Irish. My throat hurts. I'd have to hear his voice to mimic it a little better too. I have to hear it and then I can mimic my impressions. Sneeko again says it's far past time we Christians and Muslims unite on our shared similarities rather than fight over our minor differences. Christian-Muslim alliance against Israel that is going to fail to fulfill their prophecy. All right, Copers in the chat. We're not saying Dugan runs Putin. We're not saying Dugan is super influential in Russia. That is not the argument here. Clearly, he is inciting and instigating and doing propaganda and active measures on a Western English-speaking audience and on Muslims. That's what the argument is, and there's no disputing it.
The war in Iraq, we spent the war in
Some more of their fraud saying they're not going to get us into a war with Iran.
the war in Iraq, we spent $2 trillion, thousands of lives. We don't even have it. Iran is taking over Iraq with the second largest oil reserves in the world. Obviously, it was a mistake. So George Bush made a mistake. We can make mistakes, but that one was a beauty. We should have never been in Iraq. We have destabilized the Middle East.
But so you still think he should be impeached?
I think it's my turn, isn't it? You do whatever you want. You call it whatever you want. I want to tell you, they lied. Okay. They said there were weapons of mass destruction. There were none, and they knew there were none. There were no weapons of mass destruction.
All right.
The war in Iraq.
And they've never shown any proof that Iran was building nuclear weapons either, right? They just said they were because Israel said so.
We've spent $8 trillion in the Middle East, and we're not fixing our roads in this country. How stupid is it? And we're not fixing our highways, our tunnels, our bridges, our...
Hey, you guys, if you want to complain and say we're doing Dugan, you can just fuck right off, okay? His whole timeline is full of subversive Jewish apocalyptic tweets, egging on all sides and smearing the West according to the Kabbalistic plan. So you could fuck right off, dat one time. You don't like it? Go cry somewhere else about it. He's doing these posts, getting thousands of likes, riling up the Muslims, the Ortho Bros, all align with the appeal to Dugan fallacy. That's funny.
Hospitals even, our schools even. It's crazy. We've spent $8 trillion.
But America's interest is sometimes going to be distinct. Like sometimes we're going to have overlapping interests, and sometimes we're going to have distinct interests. And our interest, I think, very much is in not going to war with Iran, right?
Right.
It would be a huge distraction of resources. It would be massively expensive to our country. But America's interest...
right before the election on another Joe Rogan podcast, bro. Tim Dillon, Theo Vaughn
is sometimes going to be distinct.
Lying.
Sometimes we're going to have overlapping interests.
Yeah, the Knots Bowls can go
interests. And our interest, I think,
bricks.
very much is in not going to war with Iran, right?
Right.
It would be a huge distraction of resources. It would be massively expensive to our country.
Here are the steps that Donald Trump has.
Okay, we played that one already. All right, almost through.
A war with me, and you're not going to have a third war.
Dude, he should be out.
I will tell you, you're not going to have a war with me, and you're not going to have a third world war with me. That I can tell you. I will tell you, you're not going to have a war with me, and you're not going to have a third world war with me. That I can tell you. I will tell you, you're not going to have a
Fell
war
for it again. Fell for it again. All a bunch of gullible goyim fell for it again. Let's see a Asmongold flip-flop on war with Iran. Everybody's sharing. What has this got? 17,000 likes?
I think that we play too big of a role in other countries' military shit. Like, we're too interventionary. We get too involved into other people's business. It's a waste of our money. The people there probably fucking hate us. Like, where's really the upside here, right? Just stay out of it. Yeah, exactly. Now, I'm not saying like we should be totally isolationist, but I think that the level that we try to play nation building, especially in places like this, like, you know, like Libya, for example, back in the day, what the fuck? Or Iraq. No, absolutely not. Yeah, it's too much, man. Way too much. I am so happy this has happened. I am just dramatically, tremendously happy this has happened. I know that, you know, obviously I've talked about it for a long time, about how big of a problem Iran is and everything. I was a big supporter of us bombing them before, and now we're bombing them again, and this is just amazing. I think that we play too big of a role in.
Wow. He reacted to this video. What did he say about it? Okay, hold on. I want to play this John Swin video. Look at this. Nothing they hate more, right? Israeli bots are spamming Bible prophecy propaganda, but there's nothing they hate more, right, guys? The final war. The Bible has already told us who wins. Yeah, the Jews! The Jews. They're going to win. If you play their prophecy game, you're guaranteed to lose. They're the originators. They're the ones with the secrets. They're the ones with the upper hand. They're the ones in control. They're the ones stacking up the W's. Oh, but don't worry. 2 more weeks. Trust the plan. Why are all these bots promoting the final war, spiritual war? God wins. The Bible told us who wins. Yeah. Believe in the Bible. That's going to work out great for the Goyim. Synagogue of Satan. That's right.
Right. According to the prophets.
We'll go out to that one. Look at this. This is John Swin's great documentary, The Road to Bombing Iran, on YouTube. I suggest you guys watch the whole thing. We might watch the whole thing. I meant to watch the whole thing when they bombed Iran last year, but I ended up just playing some clips from it. But this week I'll probably end up playing the whole thing because it's that important. He has John Swin, Expose the Enemy. He's been a friend of the show a long time. He's actually the one that designed the Trump shirt, the Trump logo. The Trump shirt that I've been selling. He's the one that did that and gave it to me. But here's his little 5-minute mix. Since the very beginning of Trump's candidacy in 2015, Iran, tearing up the Iran deal and ultimately bombing them, which is what the Zionists always wanted, was always central to Trump. Watch this.
Power.
Shout out John Swin. Expose the Enemy. Everybody go follow him on YouTube. He's been a great researcher early on, ahead of the game. Green-pilled on the Christian question as far as I know. And never got any love from anybody, never got any promotion. But I always paid attention. He puts out the goods. He put out really awesome, good, exposing like QAnon stuff as well. He was talking about Epstein way early on also.
So following the Iran deal getting ratified, this network announced a Tea Party rally against the nuclear deal. The struggling event needed some star power, and the Tea Party was desperate for any kind of name recognition for the event and for their movement.
Bachmann, Schlapp, Gomert, it's all the Zionists. The who's of Zionists were at this anti-Iran deal event. Let's go through these again, okay?
Ratified.
Because Obama did the Iran deal with Jews. Some Jews wanted the Iran deal, but the Zionists and the Likudniks and the religious didn't want it.
Lucy, Social Observer sent $10 on Rumble. Yo, Adam, I appreciate your research, but it seems you are quite the contrarian literally about everything, not just religion. Why so?
I'm contrarian against people that are wrong. That's why. A lot of people are wrong and dumb and say dumb shit and believe dumb shit. That's why. I'm contrary to dumb shit. That's what I would say. Most people are dumb, stupid, goy, sheeple, normies. That's why. Okay.
This network announced
Zionist. Morton Klein, ZOA. Iran nuclear agreement demonstration protest. Frank Gaffney, hardcore Zionist.
Against the nuclear deal.
Mark Levin. We all been seeing him a lot recently. James Woolsey, CIA director, who was at the Chabad conference.
An event needed some star power, and the Tea
Sarah
Party
Palin. Glenn
was
Beck.
desperate for any kind
Meadows.
of name recognition.
He died. Phil
for the
Robertson.
event and for the
Schlapp.
movements.
Bachmann, hardcore Zionist.
It was Ted Cruz who would be one of Donald Trump's
Ted Cruz
political victims that invited Trump, which he accepted. Trump wasted no time in simultaneously bashing the Obama administration, lying through his teeth, and extolling the merits of his own negotiating power.
So this was Trump's. This is the real beginning of the bid of his political candidacy in 2015. Before he announced, he was at the anti-Iran Zionist event. And watch what he says. 2015, September 2015.
Thank you very much, everybody. It's such an honor. I was called by Senator Cruz a few days ago, and he said, do you think we can get a really good crowd out here to protest this incompetent deal? And I said, boy, can we get a crowd. And that was 3 days ago, and look what shows up. And I want to thank you. I want to thank you. So I've been doing deals for a long time. I've been making lots of wonderful deals, great deals. That's what I do. Never, ever, ever in my life have I seen any transaction so incompetently negotiated as our deal with Iran.
So in the full documentary, you can see Trump was talking shit about Obama and the Iran deal. He was one of the main opponents of it. He was doing the work of his Zionist handlers, probably, and trying to bid for the presidency. And wait till you see it. Trump forever was like, he can't make a deal. He's not a deal maker. He'll never make a deal. He's incompetent. And then Obama made a deal, and it was actually a good deal where they wouldn't be building nuclear weapons, and we could be at peace, and we wouldn't be at war right now. But they ripped up the deal like all the Zionists want. He brags about it to the Jew. Every time he goes and speaks to the Jews, he's like, I ripped up the Iran deal. I gave you Golan Heights. I moved the embassy to the eternal capital, Jerusalem. You know, we've heard it all a million times. I got all the hostages free from Gaza.
Armed with his low information talking points, Trump tested the waters with his...
Social Observer sent $10 on Rumble. So what human do you vibe with that would be considered a conspiracy theorist? Or do you think everything is Occam's razor when it comes to fringe theories?
I think a lot of conspiracies are kosher distractions. You know that's the take.
As our deal with Iran.
Armed with his low information talking points, Trump tested the waters with his formula, and it worked like magic.
They will not let Israel survive with incompetent leadership like we have right now. Israel will not survive.
Trump and this network would go on to use the Tea Party movement as a base starting point to launch his own movement, copying the Make America Great Again slogan of the Reagan-Bush 1980 campaign that inspired the evangelical Christian voting bloc to mobilize politically, backed by the same network. This time, however, Trump was a man, and with his most iconic accessory in campaign history, the Trump MAGA brand consumed the right wing. In March 2016, before Trump became the Republican nominee, he gave a speech at the AIPAC conference heavily focused on the Iran nuclear deal.
Right from the beginning.
Good evening.
At AIPAC.
Thank you very much. I speak to you today as a lifelong supporter and true friend of Israel. I'm a newcomer to politics, but not to backing the Jewish state. But I didn't come here tonight to pander to you about Israel. That's what politicians do. All talk, no action, believe me. I came here to speak to you about where I stand on the future of American relations with our strategic ally, our unbreakable friendship, and our cultural brother, the only democracy in the Middle East, the State of Israel. Thank you. My number one priority is to dismantle the disastrous deal with Iran.
Number one priority. And that was only the first step that led to the bombing of Iran. They had nuclear agreements. It was the nuclear deal. They couldn't have a deal. They needed war. They needed hegemony in the Middle East. They needed Gog and Magog war with Edom and Persia. No, this isn't SEALs. This is Jews. Their promises were kept.
Thank you. Thank you.
Those in attendance ate Trump's spiel up, applauding extensively. With Trump and the Israel lobby politically aligned on the Iran deal, he was sure to get their support if he received a Republican nomination. The Iran deal was such a useful issue for the Trump campaign. It provided the perfect opportunity not only to sell to the public that they needed a better deal maker in charge, but allowed Trump to win the support of pro-Israel groups domestically and anti-Iranians abroad.
When I become president, the days of treating Israel like a second-class citizen will end on day one.
You will be first class, the Goyim will be second class. Mark my words, on day one.
And when I say something, I mean it. I mean it.
Yeah, like when he said there'd be no new wars.
Prime Minister
Mega King.
Immediately. I have known him for many years and will be able to work closely together to help bring stability and peace to Israel and to the entire region.
Thank you for watching. This has been John Swinn. It's at JON_SWINN on X.
John Swinn, Expose the Enemy on YouTube. You can find the link and tag him. Oh, and look at this. Before he ran, he was on with this Zionist lady who she said, Donald Trump is fulfilling prophecy by moving the embassy to the Middle East. And then he appointed her as like some attorney general position. This was her right before he announced on Fox talking about Iran deal.
The man needs no introduction. An American business icon and my friend, Donald Trump. Take a look. You have been a harsh critic of President Obama, and there are a lot of different issues that I want to talk about. Number one, the economy. This president came in saying that he would resolve everything.
Not a respected country. Take over Syria, and they probably could.
Guantanamo.
Country.
What about the
And our country is no longer respected. So we're spending trillions of dollars on all of this stuff, but we're not a respected country.
What about the fact that, as we continue these airstrikes, you've got we're not stopping ISIS, and they're running in from Guantanamo back to the battlefield. It's almost as though he's replenishing the enemy in a time of war.
You know who loves the airstrikes more than anybody? Who? Iran and Syria. Right. Because basically, ISIS wants to take over Syria, and they probably could do it, but we're hurting them and setting them back. So Syria's our enemy. Iran.
Wait, hold on. Didn't we just put somebody from ISIS in charge of Syria? He just said that, and then he gets in, and now we install a puppet from ISIS in charge of Syria.
Because basically, ISIS wants to take over Syria, and they probably could do it, but we're hurting them and setting them back. So Syria's our enemy, Iran is our enemy, and Iran and Syria, they love what we're doing because we're doing their work.
The president, for some reason, feels that he has to give some concession on the nuclear proliferation to Iran, when Iran should be in there themselves because they're Shias and Alawites who are against the Sunnis anyway.
Probably, maybe from the beginning, there has never been a greater enemy to Israel than Barack Obama. It's incredible the way
because of the Iran deal,
the way he's speaking to them. I think he treats our known enemies much better.
Well, when you think about the fact that Susan Rice walked out of the UN when Netanyahu was about to give his speech.
They vetoed before Obama left. Remember, they abstained. They didn't veto. They abstained from vetoing the resolution to condemn the illegal settlements in the West Bank. Alex Jones threw a hissy fit when that happened. He's like, Obama and Soros want to blow up Israel. Fucking fraud Jones.
And the latest disaster where someone in the administration called him.
I've been cursing a lot tonight.
Why would they call him that?
This is a family show. I want ladies and gentlemen to be able to watch this around their children, so I'm not going to curse anymore. My apologies. This is a family show, Christian family show.
Look, they don't like him and they don't like Israel. And that's what I say. I mean, I speak to friends of mine that are Jewish. I say, how are you supporting this man? He's the worst thing that has ever happened to Israel. Now, what's going to happen is the way it's going, Iran will have a nuclear weapon. As soon as that happens, and it's very close, as soon as that happens, it's a whole new ballgame.
And where is the United States in that ballgame?
I don't think we have any idea what's going on. I think that the United States is so poorly run, especially as it concerns, I mean, look, everything's bad. Is there anything good? What's positive? But when you look at our relations with other countries, in history, it's never been like this. We've never had.
The book. Good job.
Nice.
Audiobook should have your voice for general text and another person reading the passages.
Yeah.
Perhaps
God voice.
Collab with someone with a good reading voice. Even better if you have different voices per apostle.
Yep. God voice, scripture voice, and my voice. I like that. Oh, dude, my throat. I like to stream every day, and then my throat's ripped up at the end of the stream. It's all the Alex Jones voices. I gotta cut out to turning to Alex Jones. I'm gonna turn into Alex Jones voice, super gravelly all the time. Yeah, I gotta do the audiobook.
Not one country do we get along with anymore, and it's not like we don't get along because we're taking advantage. We don't get along, and they're taking advantage of us.
You have very strong opinions on everything from the military and the economy and health care. 2016. I mean, there isn't really a front runner. What about Donald
Trump? We're going to see what happens. Look, people were talking about Mitt Romney. He ran.
And look at what happened. They knew he was running. She knew he was running. They knew Trump was going to run to tear up the Iran deal and bomb Iran and move the embassy. It was all planned out. I was telling you for 10 years, and none of you shills wanted to listen.
He lost. He should have won. Something happened. He choked. I mean, the last month he was a disaster. I don't know what happened. And I support it. I think, I like him. But he shouldn't run, and I hope he doesn't. A Bush, I think we've had enough Bushes, to be honest with you.
I'll have Alex Jones
need somebody great.
Narrate my book.
And if they don't get it, we're going to have a problem in this country. Big problem.
Who's great that's out there?
Well, I'm not going to get involved with that yet, but we'll see what happens. But, that'll be the next conversation. I mean, look, we have an election coming up. It's going to be an amazing election on Tuesday. I think
they knew
the Republicans have a chance for the first time in a long time to take over the Senate. We'll see what happens, and it'll be very interesting. Our country has tremendous potential.
All right, you see? Iran from the beginning. See Through It All says this is what the Jews are cooking up in their synagogues. Here's a new one.
And Paras. In the end of days, there's going to be two kingdoms left over, before Mashiach comes. Romi, right, and Paras. Those are the two kingdoms, big kingdoms. Some say, by the way, Paras is Russia also. together, you know, with Iran. Some say paras, parimash paruski, paras. So there, it talks about over there that
what a gross, disgusting
into the hands
beard.
of Romi. What does that mean? That Paras is going to lose the war to Romi. Then it says just the opposite, right? Romi is going to lose the war to Paras. Two different Gemarot in the same page. Question is, why this, stira? Why this contradiction, right? What's the story there? So apparently, right, what's going to be is like this. I'll explain to you. What's going to be is that there's going to be one war where Romi is going to win over Paras. Looks like we're coming to that right now, right? Next week, I don't know, right? Purim time, it's Purim Spiel. That's what's going to be over here. There's going to be another war where Romi is going to lose to Paras. There's going to be two different wars. Now here's the thing.
Hey Adam, who cares what the rabbis say? You believe the rabbis? Yeah, they're trying to lead us into an apocalyptic war where we get destroyed. Oh, but we're the new Israel, and their prophecies are wrong, and Jesus is going to save us. Dude, this is why we're cooked.
How does this all finish up, right? How does this all end? This whole thing. So it says in Zohar Kadosh, in the final war,
Zohar,
the last war before Mashiach comes, Romi is going to lose the war to Paras, and Paras is going to be victorious over them. That's going to be the last war.
So America's going to lose.
So what does that mean?
It means first it looks like we win, and then we lose.
And they're going to destroy, it says in the Chazal, they're going to destroy the city of Rome, everything over there. They're going to destroy everything. Roma is going to be ashes and fire, brimstone.
America.
They're going to destroy the Vatican, everything over there.
Europe, the Vatican.
Maybe this is Russia. It's possible. Now, here's the thing. Number one, okay.
So, meanwhile, all the Zionists are in our media like, we're your greatest allies. We're the defenders of Western civilization. Those Muslims want to destroy the West and call you the great Satan. Meanwhile, these Jews call us satanic and want us to be destroyed. Yeah, super bass late night stream. Over 500 people watching on Rumble. Nice to know I could do a late night Sunday stream and you guys still show up. Probably a different crowd as usual.
That when Paras is going to destroy Romi, what's going to be is, Paras is going to conquer many lands. There's going to be a lot of lands conquered by Paras. It's going to be very strong, Paras. After Romi is destroyed, because nobody's going to stop them. Nobody can stop them anymore. So what's going to be is they're going to come and rule over Eretz Israel for 12 months. Paras. 12 months, Eretz Israel is going to be in their hands. And then after the 12 months, will come Mashiach ben David, and destroy all of them. Wipe them out. So that's going to be the end of Paras. Paras is going to be the last kingdom left over before Mashiach ben David. So the question is, why is this? Gemara asked a question about this over there. It says, I understand if you tell me that Romi is going to fall to Paras. This I understand. Makes sense. Why? Because the Paras, they built the Bet HaMikdash, and Romi, they destroyed the Bet HaMikdash. Right? So then it makes sense, right? They get being rewarded for building the Bet HaMikdash.
All about the temple, the destruction of the temple. Is this real? Iran just took out one of the largest U.S. military facilities in the Middle East with a $1,000 drone. This warehouse filled with arms, missiles, tanks, and other military hardware value of $500 billion is now completely destroyed. Iran hasn't even officially started the war. Around 100,000 Hezbollah fighters, 100,000 Houthi, and countless infantry. And the Epstein regime stand with Iran. I bet you this is fake. Iran is liberating the Middle East, Bahrain, Qatar, Saudis, Kuwait, Syria. Come on, dude. These guys are delusional. This is probably, they're winning an AI, a war in their minds with AI. Oh, this is so fake. That's a fucking AI firecracker. Give me a break. Somebody just sent me this. How did I know? Or it's just something else. Come on, dude. No bombs are doing that shit. This is AI. Dude, they're winning a war in their heads on AI with AI slop. That's all they can ever do. Or share fake old videos. That's crazy. Gotta be fake. 3.7 thousand likes. Yeah, totally AI. Muslims can't tell the difference. All right, here we go. Let's see what Ritter's claiming. Let's see what's not going to happen here in the future.
The people rose up, and the Iranian government crushed them. And now the Iranian government's in total control. Don't believe any of the videos you see on social media. There's been a media blackout in Iran for at least 3 days. All the stuff you see posted is fake. The Iranian government.
$10 on Rumble. What are you most red-pilled about in this black pill world we live in?
What does that even mean? You mean white-pilled? What am I most white-pilled about? Fuck, I don't know. My kids, I guess.
Has
Let me think about
control of the country, and the window of opportunity is missed. And now you have both Israel, because here's the thing: the scheme would have worked if you.
It's not over till it's over. I'd say that too.
Could have toppled the Iranian government.
Like, I love the first comment. This guy is an absolute Russian cuck shill.
Up front, then they wouldn't launch missiles and all that. You can't topple the Iranian.
Dude, this guy's been saying that Ukraine's over and Russia's going to conquer Ukraine for like 5 years now. So why are we listening to what this idiot has to say?
Government right now. So if we attack Iran, two things are going to happen. The Iranians will crush Israel, destroy it, and they will destroy American bases in the region, potentially causing tens of thousands of American casualties. And there's nothing we can do to stop it. The Iranians prove that the Iron Dome air defense system doesn't work, and the Americans can't.
If Iran can destroy Israel, why didn't they do it after we bombed them last year? None of this, they're not going to do. This makes me think Iran is cooked and they're not going to hurt Israel at all.
Defend their bases either. So Israel and...
He said the same thing about Hezbollah. He said the same thing about them trying to invade Gaza.
Regional leaders are telling Trump, don't attack. I mean, and hopefully his intelligence community is telling him the same thing. Because if we do attack...
You're a shill, Layla.
Yeah, we'll blow things up in Iran. But the price we're going to pay is beyond belief.
Yeah, just so Adam, that may be AI, but I've seen plenty of convincing footage of Iran dropping big bombs on lots of U.S. bases and allies. You should pay more attention to it.
I saw another video. It wasn't that one, but they're like, oh, it just hit this base, but you can't even see what it is. It's far away. People, you got to be really careful about what people are claiming is attacks. And it didn't even look like that big of an explosion either. But hold on, I did just see this one. 9 people killed, 40 injured from Iranian ballistic missile impact in the residential area of Jerusalem, according to the Times of Israel. They're going to get some through, but they're not going to flatten it like Ritter is claiming. And this isn't even an explosion. It's just a bunch of people going to... We're one hit.
You know, when you research right a couple hours before we came on here, there was a breaking news that Israel and Saudi Arabia were calling Donald Trump and asking him not to attack Iran right now. Israel and Saudi Arabia.
Interesting. Okay, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. That's good to know. So. All right. No, man, obviously things can always change, guys. Look, analysis is always based on facts on the ground at that moment. Obviously, that's a big piece of news right there. So, there can always still be an attack. All you can do is predict. But
yeah, I mean, I always tell people, I'm giving you this great assessment and all that, and we'll click off, and I'll open up my X account. It's like America bombs Iran. Well,
you did say that there's a chance that we can hit their nuclear facilities again, right? So that is
Trump needs to make a statement. I think Trump he is pushed.
I don't see why anybody likes this guy.
Way far out there. And
just because he's a Russia shill and he's anti-West, basically. I bet you he was pro-Trump, too, before the election. I don't know why we didn't see clips of him, but I bet you he was
There has to be a face
saying Trump's gonna keep us out of war with Iran. I bet you was saying that shit.
way out of this, and maybe with a limited strike against another empty target. I don't know.
Limited
The
strike,
people rose
empty
up,
target.
and the Iranian.
Okay, a few more here. We're going long. We're going 3 hours. Late night. War special. RT Sharon Mizrachi saying that they're going to false flag the Temple Mount.
Missiles will hit the mosque and clear the place for the third Bet HaMikdash.
Temple.
That could also be a miracle. If it was up to me, the last time when they shot hundreds of missiles, I would pretend that one missile came from Iran and shoot it down. You know?
Destroy the temple.
Arabs will go against Iran, it will be the end of the problems. You make them fight with each other, this bunch of lunatics. Never too late. You deal with a bunch of cowards. Missiles.
Wow. I've been saying that too. Is this guy watching me? Everybody's been saying that. Everybody that knows about how they want to destroy the temple. Mizrachi like, we'll blow up the Dome of the Rock, we'll blame it on Iran, and the stupid Arabs will go to war, and all the lunatics will destroy each other.
I always wonder how dumb this goyim sometimes can be.
Couple more here. Rabbi says America will be destroyed by Iran according to prophecy.
Against each today, I would like to reveal to you the shocking prophecy that is revealed and released before our eyes straight from the word of the Bible. Final war will be birthed out of this, which is the war between Edom and between Ishmael. Where we are heading to right now and what we're seeing is the birth pangs that will lead to the worst of all wars, will be the war between Ishmael and between Edom, which will be more grievous than the two other wars, as it is said.
Grievous?
The grievous of this war. And what will be the result? From there, the son of David will flourish, and he will see the destruction of both kingdoms. Rabbi Joshua, son of...
Social Observer sent $5 on Rumble. Ritter got busted with CP, but not sure if it was a setup or not.
With CP, I thought it was like trying to send messages to an underage girl. I didn't know it was CP. I think it was talking to an underage girl. Caught in an online sex sting, has been found guilty of 6 charges, including unlawful contact with a minor after exchanging explicit messages with a 15-year-old girl in an online chat room and then performing a sex act on himself. He whacked off in front of and filmed it and sent it to a 15-year-old girl. Masturbated in online chat with detective posing as an underage girl. Sounds like a great guy to go after Epstein. He's like, the Epstein satanic West. This is the Epstein war. And it's like, bruh, you're basically Epstein. He was talking to someone who said they were above age, and it was an FBI agent who lied and said they were underage. No, he wouldn't be charged if they lied and he didn't know. I don't buy that.
Flavi said, Rome is destined to fall into the end of Persia. What? Edom is going to fall to Persia? There are only 2 nations today that are being fighting against each other, and it is the United States of America in Iran. Do not believe to anything that says that there will be a peace agreement or some sort of agreement between United States to Iran. It is not going to happen, because that, friends, is the battle of all battles that is coming. And here the rabbi...
Okay, we get the point. Let's hear this rabbi too. They all talk about it. Who cares what the rabbis say? You believe the rabbis? These idiot Christians online will be like, Adam shares rabbi clips. I think he's a Jew. Fucking idiots. Ugh. No more cursing.
Wants to bring them back.
Let's go. Get high. You guys ready to get hyphy?
The Gemara Avodah Zarah, Staf Gimel Avodah Zarah, Staf Yud and Yuma. The Talmud tells us that there are two nations, that Moschayu, that their dominion in the world will continue forever and ever, that even in Achros Hayomim, in the end of days, these two nations will be paramount, whereas other nations will not have any regard, really. And one of those two nations says Paras, Persia, and Edom. Edom, says the Ben Ishchai, is America. Persia, we all know, is Iran. Why do they call themselves Iran? Because they believed in the Aryan. Aryan means pure
No more cursing, right? Thank you, Leaf Blower. Good one.
blood, like the Nazis. They're dangerous. Take their threat seriously. The Gemara tells us that B'achros Hayomim, in the end of the days, there will be a war like no other war. And who will be the perpetrator? Who will terrorize the world, and particularly the Jewish people? Persia, Iran. Says the Heilige Reb Yonasan Eibeshitz and Yaris Devash in the Drush, that many times the Jews thought that Mashiach is coming. It could have been. He says, but
they literally took out the Haman of Persia on their holiday that observes that.
Social Observer sent $5 on Rumble.
That's how
Did you
serious
chat
they are.
GPT how babies get in mama bellies? Lol.
No. My daughter asked me today. She told me, she said, Daddy, ask ChatGPT how babies get in mommy's bellies. My daughter's 5, and I just laughed and said, no.
Number one way to know, to discern.
She's not ready yet.
And to infer that Mashiach is on the way is that there has to be a war with Iran.
Before Moshiach comes, there has to be a war with Edom and Iran. And that's why they got Trump in, to get us in that war. Have their puppet in charge of Edom for that war.
Pasuk says, if you want to know how to bring Mashiach Tzichitzei, Asvu v'agidu lachem achros hayomim. You want the achros hayomim, says the Heilige Zohar, says Arizal, hey, Asvu v'agidu lachem. Gather together, hey, Asvu, unite. When Klal Yisrael unite, when we really care about one another, when we care about the abandoned Jew, the disenfranchised Jew, the disconnected Jew, the unaffiliated Jew, v'agidu lachem, says the Heilige Rebbe.
Stereotyping Jews is terrible.
Bro, he's got the voice. He sounds so Jewish.
Agida means aguda. When we unite together as one aguda, Lashon Megadim, Lashon sweetness, we really care about our fellow Jews, even the forsaken ones, to bring them back. That brings Achros Hayomim. If you want to see them healed, you have to encourage this. You know, the Heilige Tzaddik Rav Ari Levin, who was the Shver of Rav Elyashiv, one time he saw a secular soldier.
Okay, I can't handle anymore. We get the point. They want their war. Last one. Rabbi, author of The Case for Dual Loyalty, touts war on Iran at a sermon in LA synagogue, says, may we defeat Amalek once and for all, until there's a new Amalek.
We are, as a people, supposed to stand against Amalek, the tribe that embodies evil in the Torah,
the soy voice, he's got it too.
All of the inheritors of that evil across time and space. And in the cosmic battle that is between the Jewish people and Amalek, there is no doubt that we will meet each other again and again and again. So in the Torah, Moses and the children of Israel meet Amalek in the wilderness. Then in the Haftorah...
Okay, we get it. You're destroying Amalek. We get the point.
And according we should Gentiles, there's a movement now of many goyim who waking up and keeping the 7 laws.
Not if we can stop it. All right, that is all we have for today. 3-hour show, late night Sunday show. Thank you all for the support. We smashed the goal. You guys are awesome.
Yes!
I love you.
That's
Appreciate all the
awesome.
support.
Thanks, man. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Alrighty then.
Alrighty again. You guys see the fake Jim Carrey? The clone of Jim Carrey? No, he just got some bad plastic surgery. Why do they always do it to themselves? I don't know. But it's going to be a big week with shows. We got big guests. Tons to cover. Leave a comment below. Share the link. Buy the book. Links below. Give it a like. Educate yourselves. Tell your friends. Spread the word. And we're going to keep our eye on all of it. As always, we're going to be streaming. 2026 is going to be a big one. You guys have a nice night. Oop, turn off my music, and I'll see you tomorrow. Too much clavicular, true. Down with Yahweh. Hail the old gods. And go to sleep.